The following is a presentation of ESPN on ABC.
We got another hot sunny day in South Florida and a high noon important showdown between Sparty and the Canes. ESPN College Football on ABC, presented by Arby's. Few had Michigan State on the Big Ten radar this year, but with Kenneth Walker III leading a punishing ground attack, Mel Tucker and the Spartans, they are ahead of schedule. Now a big opportunity. Number 24 Miami, led by De'Aaron King, one of the most electrifying players in college football in recent years. They are ready to go, and we are ready to go from here at Hard Rock. Joe Tessitore, Greg McElroy with you. Start of what's going to be a real good day of college football. Just settle in with us. We'll get it going here. Michigan State has transformed their roster with transfers. They're 2-0. Miami's trying to live up to big expectations. They want to get the offense going today. They can do it with their star quarterback, can't they?
He's the heart and soul of this football team. De'Aaron King is one of the most notable players in college football, and through 2 games, he hasn't looked like himself. Let's remember, he's 8 months and 2 weeks removed from ACL reconstruction. Learned to trust that leg again. Said last week, you know what, I'm going to lean a little more on my legs. As a result of that leg game opening up, he started to throw the ball more accurately. Expect his best football from this point forward, and he's going to have to be at his best today against an excellent Michigan State defense.
As for Michigan State, they have started their year with a running game boom.
And Kenneth Walker has been a huge surprise early in the season. He, of course, transferred from Wake Forest, but I didn't expect this type of burst. Great athleticism, great vision, outstanding patience, and a really good feel for where those holes are going to open up along the line of scrimmage. Been very impressed with him so far.
Coach Tucker, second year at Michigan State. He's got this team already 2-0. Hey, this is just the 5th time in the long history of these schools that Miami and Michigan State have met up. First time since '89. And we've got it ready here on ABC from Hard Rock in Miami Gardens. College football, presented by Arby's, returns after this message and a word from our ABC stations. You are watching the ACC on ESPN. Never know what you're going to get with the early kicks for atmosphere at Hard Rock, but let me tell you, there is a roar, especially in the lower bowl. They are here to support number 24, the Canes, take it on Sparty. Michigan State won the toss. They elect to defer. So Harley and Couch will be back for the Canes. Manny Diaz, year number 3. For Miami to live up to the season they are supposed to have, this is the one you have to have. And Katie George, year number 6 of college football for De'Aaron King. The comeback from the torn right ACL.
Yeah, Tess, he told me this week that we're at this place in college football where if you lose one game, it feels like the end of the world. But he and his teammates are not panicking. He says their goals are still very attainable if they win out, which he says they're capable of doing. But he has to play a whole lot better, and so does this offense. He said the focus this week was finishing drives and making the right decisions and reads in the red zone. They want to end up in the end zone, not settling for field goals like we saw a week ago.
Boy, Katie, we heard that all week long. Just finish, finish, finish. Let's see if that's what this offense can do here. King, first down, wrapped up, tackle for loss. Panashuk gets in there against De'Aaron King.
Not the start you want if you're Miami. Good job by Panashuk, staying on the quarterback and dropping him on the misread RPO.
So a loss of 3. Defensive front of Michigan State has been solid beginning of the season. And this is complete for a first down, and it goes to Will Mallory, the junior tight end from Jacksonville.
A beautiful job settling in the zone by Mallory, and look at how De'Aaron King throws him away from the middle linebacker. Halliday was underneath it.
Quick to the near side as he gets it to Rambo. Rambo, the transfer from Oklahoma. He's one of these guys really out to prove what he once was. 2019, this guy was a star for the Sooners, transfers to the Canes.
Yeah, excellent hands, and Miami offensive staff feels like if they're going to win this game, it's got to be on the perimeter with their wide receivers. They think they have an advantage there. Rambo's part of the reason why.
2nd and 8. Just a push pass to Harley. But look at Michigan State, and then Harley makes the most of it, but they pursued that right down the line. And that goes for 5 yards. It'll be 3rd and 3. Interesting matchup of coordinators. Scotty Hazelton's defense against Rhett Lashley's offense. There is Rhett. Says we're real close. Thinks that they've got a much better team, much better offense than they have shown. 3rd and 3. King, sprint right, and an easy pitch and catch to a wide open Mike Harley for a 1st down.
Excellent job and a great call by Rhett Lashley. Man coverage from Michigan State. You go with a little sprint right, Q9, or Q8 to the right, 9 to the left. Easy completion on the rub.
Tempo now. King again. They pick up the pressure and a good strike to Rambo on the near side. So now this looks like the Miami offense that's finding its rhythm. They thought they were sitting on a early performance like this, but remember the key word, finish. Have to finish. That's what they want to see out of this offense.
This part of the field has not been a problem. Like Katie alluded to, this team has been 123rd in college football through 2 weeks in red zone efficiency. So they can move it between the 20s. What do they do when they get there?
King fumbles the ball. Ball is still loose, and on the ground it is recovered by the Spartans. Looked like Quavaris Crouch was able to jump on it.
There's a good decision by De'Ara King to get north and south, but how about the recovery there by Petrowski? Grabs that right arm. Wiggins, the wide receiver, number 8, almost kind of falls asleep. He thinks that Restrepo's going to grab it. He doesn't. Wiggins is kind of standing around, and great hustle by Crouch to pounce on the football. Excellent job there by Michigan State's defense, jarring the football loose and then hustling over and beating Miami to the football.
First plays on offense for Michigan State this year have been dynamic. 2 games, 2 75-yard touchdowns on their opening play. So what do you do for an encore? A swing pass to Reed. Well, it's not 75 yards and a touchdown, but it is a 1st down.
Yeah, how about this? A gain of 74 that isn't a score is actually a bad start for the Spartans. First play of the season, first play of Kenneth Walker's career at Michigan State. It goes to the house, and then, hey, why not? Followed up the next week, a little trickery with a beautiful flea flicker to Reed over the top. It's been beautiful starts from Michigan State, a big reason why they have dominated each of their first 2 opponents.
Peyton Thorne, sophomore quarterback. Kenneth Walker, he has been the spotlight so far, Katie.
Yeah, guys, Ken Walker was very frank about why he transferred. He didn't feel like his strengths were being utilized in Wake Forest offense. He wanted to do more, so he entered the portal, and a mutual friend immediately put him in touch with O-line coach and run game coordinator Chris Kapilovic, who he really enjoyed. Then he spoke with OCJ Johnson. Through those conversations, he knew this was the kind of system he could excel in, and it would prepare him for that next level test.
He has been outstanding early on. Thorne taken down. Wayne Monsteed, who's in for the injured starter, Keontre Smith, with the sack.
This is a thing of beauty. How about this rush by the Miami Hurricanes? You see the outside defender rush underneath by the lineman, which frees up Steed, who makes the play on the quarterback. Just an excellent design and a great call by Manny Diaz, who doubles as the defensive coordinator.
Great to see Steed back out there. He had a devastating knee injury and missed the entire 2019 season. Now he gets the start today. Nothing happening as he joins in for another tackle with Harrison Hunt as well. So it'll be 3rd and 17 for Michigan State.
If you look at this Miami defense, they've been pretty good on 1st and 2nd down, but where they've struggled has been on 3rd down. Now 3rd and 17, that's a pretty tall order. I think at this point, Michigan State, if I'm Miami, I'm thinking screens, draws, things like that. But they have got to do a better job moving forward on 3rd down, particularly against Bama. They gave up 9 of the first 12 3rd down opportunities that Bama had.
3rd and 17 for Thorne. Does have time, but goes underneath, and well short of it is Trey Mosley.
That was a great job by Miami's defense there. Sudden change after the De'Aaron King fumble. You go out, you give up a quick first down, but then you rally and tighten the screws, force a negative play, and that's the MO for this Miami team. Gotta force negative plays defensively and create explosive plays offensively.
Bryce Behringer comes on the punt. Tyreek Stevenson back deep for Miami. Behringer skies this inside the 10. That's a beauty all the way back to the 1-yard line. What a punt by Behringer, and Stevenson fielded it at the 1-yard line. A 56-yard punt for the Spartans. Flag is down back at the 42-yard line.
During the return, holding, number 0. They half the distance from the spot of the end of the kick. 1st and 10. Timeout.
Fielding that ball all the way inside the 5. They're going to start this from the 6-yard line when we come back to South Florida.
Yeah, terrible decision there in Miami. And De'Aaron King, their veteran quarterback, they're going to be backed up coming out.
Because of the penalty, post kick, they walk it off, and Miami will start from the 1-yard line.
And this is where you use a hard count. Hard count. See if you can't get those guys to jump off sides.
Harris in the backfield with King. Ball set eye with Mallory. Pre-snap flag.
Ball start. Offense, number 8. Half the distance to the goal. 1st down.
And that's why you do the hard count, because even if you jump off sides, which is the worst possible scenario, right? Like your wide receiver that time falling forward before the ball is snapped, you only lose half a yard. Whereas if they jump, you get 5.
King from 8 yards deep in his own end zone, and he throws a strike incomplete to the 10-yard line to Brinson, the freshman from Northwestern High School here in Miami.
I know he had the fumble on the first drive, but I like the rhythm and urgency that De'Aaron King is showing already. Getting the ball out of his hands, knowing that Michigan State pass rush, it can get real on the edges.
Harris beat the first man in the backfield and then motors ahead for 3 yards and a 1st down. So the breathing room right away from Miami's offense.
And that's the goal when you're backed up. You just want 1 first down, because now, even if you have to punt it, your punter's not backed up against his own end line. So this is already considered, as crazy as it sounds, a successful drive for the offense.
4-man rush against King, and they get to him. Flag comes down as he was taken down by Drew Beasley. Jerry McGinn signaling holding against Miami.
Holding. Offense, number 62. Penalties decline. 2nd down.
When you have a mobile quarterback like King, you have to be really diligent in your pass rush lane. So you're going to see one guy rush high, the other guy's going to rush low. That way, when De'Aaron King feels that pressure over the top and he steps up, he's actually stepping up right into the defender who beats the left tackle inside. So that's a good job of staying disciplined in your rush lanes, and a great job to have Beasley back on the field for the Spartans.
2nd and 16, design quarterback run for King. Now it's interesting, we talked to Rep Lashley, switched things up on the offensive line this week.
Had to. They just were not executing at a high level. So they shake things up, especially on the right side. Devon Donaldson comes out. Justice Olawushon moves from right tackle down to right guard. And Jared Williams now filling in at right tackle.
3rd and 11. An offensive line coach said last week's performance against App State, said really poor, and most of it was communication. So a new looking right side of that line. 3rd and 11. Let's see how they protect King. King with time, but he's going to check down Harris. Squares up the shoulders, but he couldn't stay in. And the Canes will be punting away to the Spartans. Ronald Williams able to force Harris out.
And that's okay. Like we said, when you're backed up on your own 1 yard line, the goal is to make sure that your punter has enough room to execute his operation. 99-yard drive, of course, you'd love to have that, but it's highly unlikely if you play the stats. So this is still a decent drive for Miami, even though it's not the result they wanted. They have to quit having negative plays, though, and getting off schedule offensively.
A 28-year-old Lou Headley from Australia, who set the record for net punting last year, was nearly 45 yards per punt net. Will be kicking away to Jaden Reed. And this is a wobbler, a knuckler, and a fair catch made at the 37-yard line. Peyton Thorne, Kenneth Walker III, Reed, and that group will be back out there when we return to Hard Rock.
College football on ABC is presented by Arby's. We have the meats. And in part by Twisted Hard Iced Tea. Crack open a refreshing Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Seen Mel Tucker through the years. First picture was when he was a GA, a grad assistant under Coach Saban at Michigan State. He tells a story of once sleeping under the desk in his office there. He's making $400 a month as a GA for
awesome.
Coach Saban.
I love it, man. I mean, that's the ultimate. Every step he's seen it, right? I mean, he has a good understanding at the foundation of how to build a program. Done a good job here so far this year. And only 2 weeks in, but man, this team is way ahead of where I think most people thought they'd be.
There's a reason for that, and that is what they've done with the transfers, as Walker can't find much. So you think about, how do you reshape a roster, Greg? You go to the transfer portal now, right? Instant eligibility to play. So 41 new players, 27 also left the program, and 20 of the 41 new players transfers.
And I think that energy, that new energy, a lot of guys getting a new lease on life, new opportunity, a new fresh start, coupled with some of the veteran players they have, especially along the line of scrimmage, both offensively and defensively. It's been a really good mix.
2nd and 9, and Thorne is sacked again. Chance Williams came crashing down on Peyton Thorne.
And they have a good feel for the protections today. Manny Diaz dialing up another pressure that overloads that Michigan State protection. 2 linebackers that need to be blocked by the running back. One, of course, has to be unblocked. Thorne's got to get that ball out of his hands, but an excellent rush and an excellent result for the Hurricanes.
Such an athletic group up front for Miami. 3rd and 18. They'll play it conservative with Walker as he is chopped down. And again, that Miami defense able to get to Thorne. Remember the first drive for Michigan State, they recovered that fumble. It was just the 5 plays, 13 yards, and the punt. And now here, they'll be punting again.
Michigan State, not all that unlike Miami. They can't have that negative play on 2nd down. That's 2 drives in a row that have been completely wiped out because of a 2nd down sack. So they got to find a way to get the ball out of Thorne's hands faster so that blitz can't get home.
Behringer had a great punt on his first kick of the day. See if he can sky this. As a high snap, able to get it down, and he drives it. And then Stevenson with the fair catch inside the 20. 2 teams we don't often see opposite each other. 0-0 here in the first quarter. Beautiful day in South Florida where aerial coverage is provided by Goodyear. Anything can happen as long as you have the drive. Goodyear, more driven. Manny Diaz has had the drive since he came here as a defensive coordinator, now through year 3 as a head coach. And with Diaz on the staff, home games, Miami is 25-6. Scoreless early against Michigan State. Harris trying to find something straight up the middle. Simeon Barrow jogs off. Sean Mallory comes in to play defensive tackle for the Spartans.
You've got a lot of green grass right here. You can just throw it to your tight end. And there's nobody in this part of the field. Just give it to him and see if he can a little bit of space.
Big Will Mallory. Second down run. Tackled right at the line of scrimmage is Harris. So let's go to Kevin in the studio. I think it's an important game in terms of conference reputation. Virginia Tech off to such a good start, had the big win against North Carolina, up to number 15 in the country, 2-0, but trailing now by 2 scores to West Virginia. Meanwhile, Jalen Rivers, the starting left guard for Miami, is being attended to by the medical staff. And he's a very imposing looking left guard, and he has come here a few years ago as a top recruit and has delivered. And we told you earlier they've made a change to the other side of the line, so perhaps they switch things back and put Donaldson back in. He had been the starter and has loads of experience, was a freshman All-America back in 2017.
And you hate that for Rivers, young guy that was starting to come along. They felt really good about the left side of that offensive line, in large part due to Rivers, his presence there at left guard. So this is potentially a huge loss for the Miami Hurricanes. The good news is you do have Novon Donaldson, who has played a lot of football, that'll sub in there at left guard.
Had been the starting right guard, but they wanted to change things up after a poor performance overall by the offensive line a week ago. 3rd down and 5 after Rivers leaves the game.
Pressure look from Michigan State. No safeties deep. Their deepest defender 6 yards.
King. Quick strike, and it's incomplete. Surprised Harley couldn't hold on to it. A veteran guy who's reliable, who ranks 8th all-time in career receptions with Miami.
Yeah, and they decide to drop out. Showed that pressure look. It was a good throw there by De'Ara King, and one that Harley absolutely has to have. Drops have plagued this team for 2 years. Harley had a big drop last week as well, but man, you got to keep feeding him. That's your alpha dog at wide receiver. Keep feeding that young man. He's going to make a play for you at some point.
Headley on to punt. Dangerous Jaden Reed back to return for Michigan State. And takes a Miami bounce. Does it ever? Off the big leg of Lou Headley.
Tess, Greg, Extra Yard for Teachers Week is an annual effort led by the College Football Playoff Foundation that brings college sports together to support and honor great teachers across the country at games and on social media. To learn more about Extra Yard for Teachers, follow at CFP Extra Yard. Today, Miami is honoring Gilbert Frierson's favorite teacher, Miss Salazar of Francis Tucker Elementary School here in Coconut Grove. Gilbert thanked her for pushing him to be his best and always believing in him.
That's wonderful. I think everybody has that one teacher in their life. It's a wonderful program to celebrate, honor, and support the teachers. Thorne been dealing with that front all day long and quickly gets it to Tyler Hunt, his tight end.
That's going to be really important for Michigan State, is to establish a little bit of misdirection. Right there, bootleg, and a good positive play on 1st and 10.
And now a quick strike to go back to Hunt. And his helmet comes off, so he will trot off the field.
It's no secret who Miami is defensively. They want to bring pressure. So what you have to do as a quarterback, and Peyton Thorne's a young one, but is learning quickly, you got to figure out where are your answers within the route. Sometimes you have a hot route where a receiver will change what he's doing in an effort to get open faster. But if you don't have a hot route built into the play, you have to know where your answers are when that pressure comes. Thorne did a good job of it there.
So after 2 quick throws to Hunt for 20 yards, they keep it on the ground with Walker, who is off to a tremendous start on the season, coming into this game averaging 10.7 yards per carry.
Yeah, he's been so fun to watch. And that Wake Forest offense is unique. It's a little bit like triple option. but you can never really hit the hole at full speed. You have to be reading constantly. Really unique offense, but maybe not the best fit for Kenneth Walker. I didn't realize he had the open field speed that he's put on tape the last couple weeks. He has been so impressive.
Now, Wake Forest has that delayed style, that slow mesh.
Yeah, I like the style. I really do, but it's hard on the running back, that's for sure.
Thorne goes to the other side to Hayward, and Hayward, who was a running back and then transitioned to tight end, so when you get him in some open space and he gets the pads going forward and gets low, he can do some damage.
Yeah, he's a big body and a good teammate, willing to change. He's an excellent young man. Has done a good job in the transition to more of an H-back role. Great hands, natural ball carrier, too. So when he gets it in his hands, man, he's a load to bring down. But 4-down territory potentially here. I'd keep it on the ground. I'd pound it with my outstanding running back right along the left side of that offensive line.
3rd and 1. Walker, look at the hole he has. Kenneth Walker inside the 30, inside the 25, and Michigan State is in business. Stevenson finally tracked him down.
Just a great job by the left side of this offensive line, just washing everything down, and Walker bending it all the way back, finding that cutback lane, and he finds a lot of green grass.
Intercept! Wow, Stevenson! Right in his hands for an interception, and he can't believe it. Incomplete.
Well, I guess Thorne took it seriously when we said, man, you got to get the ball out of your hands. Well, this time he throws it really early. His wide receiver Naylor doesn't see it. Stevenson does. Just can't finish it. Would have been a great catch by the corner.
And Stevenson had that until he went to the ground. So second life for Thorne and Michigan State after that play. And they go with the reverse, and it's Mosley. And he is chopped down right away by Bolden. The U's are up for a 3rd and 8. Mel Tucker's offense, they got going with Thorne to his tight ends, and then Walker the big run, and now can they deliver here on 3rd and 8?
This is where Miami likes to bring exotic pressure. Let's watch the secondary. They'll bring it from anywhere. Keep an eye on these two linebackers.
Thorne being chased. Thorne's going to tuck, and he's going to stride for that line to gain. And Peyton Thorne can get those wheels going.
That was a great job by Thorne. Keeping your eyes downfield, staying in a passing posture so those defenders can't close on you, and knowing exactly how many you need to get to the first down. Just a great job by the young quarterback.
Final seconds of the first quarter ticking down, as Michigan State is hoping to open up the second quarter with a bang. They are in position to do so when we come back. College football presented by Arby's returns after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Taco Bell welcomes you to the Live Más Student Section of the Year contest. Use hashtag Student Section Sauce to get the committee's attention. Go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell. See how your school can compete. That student section needs to get loud here if they want to stop this Michigan State offense that all of a sudden on this drive looks the part of a 2-0 team. They were 0-2 on 3rd down before this drive, 2 for 2 on this drive. Peyton Thorne just had a good run moments ago. First down from the 13 as the flag comes in and the finger pointing does.
Ball start. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty. First down.
A.J. Arcuri, he was starting the left tackle last year. 6th year of college football. He's on the right side now.
And you look across this offensive line, 6th year, 4th year, 6th year, 5th year, 6th year. It's a veteran group. Not like them to jump off sides.
Walker able to get to the edge, and Walker gives a little too. Boy, he is off to a great start this year. You're seeing everything that he can do. As Mel Tucker says, strong, quickness, balance, change of direction, run through the smoke.
Man, he's so much faster in person, too. I mean, you watch him, you know he's got burst. Man.
Here's the fade. Incomplete as he was trying to get it to Speedy Naylor.
And Walker has been just so much fun to watch. And then the play action passing game, once he gets going, that jump starts their whole offense. Then you start working some of the misdirections. You work some of the bootlegs. He's looking much more like himself here in their third possession.
The 11th play of the drive coming up, 3rd and 5.
Shallow cross routes right here against Miami's man coverage.
Miami is going to use a timeout. Manny Diaz, who is also the defensive coordinator, will talk things over with his group. They're facing a 3rd and 5 when we return to Hard Rock. Make sure that you go to ESPN CFP on social, because starting Wednesday you can vote for your favorite college town in the Football Town Showdown. That is presented by Shell. All these beautiful scenes in Coral Gables. We are just northwest at Hard Rock Stadium. 3rd down and 5 for Michigan State. After the timeout called by Manny Diaz to gather his defense. Thorne looks over. Third and 5. Walker straight ahead, just 2 yards on 3rd down.
Interesting play call there from offensive coordinator Jay Johnson, just conservative. Miami kind of getting in what looked like it was going to be kind of a drop mode, but the front line, man, did a great job of holding the point of attack and getting the stop against the excellent running back. Good stop there from the Miami defense, but a really nice drive from Michigan State. It hadn't had much going in their first few possessions.
Matt Coughlin has been the starting kicker for 5 years. This is short attempt. High snap is put down, and it goes through. $23-yarder for Coughlin. This season, along with their contributions to universities' general scholarship funds, for every field goal and extra point made, Allstate will also be donating to the American Red Cross to help with disaster relief efforts. Thank you, Allstate. Boy, Michigan State to go 2-0 on the season. They've had big leads early on. They've started games with first place 75-yard touchdowns. Now we have a defensive first quarter and then a long drive that only results in 3-0 Spartans.
It was a really good adjustment, though, by their offense on the last possession. Quick passes, getting the ball out of Peyton Thorne's hands quickly, and then also utilizing some of that misdirection, because we know this is a very athletic Miami defense that wants to flow quickly and be aggressive. So what you got to do, you got to take advantage of that aggressiveness. Give them some misdirection. Give them some things to think about. Michigan State did a lovely job of that last time around.
Katie?
Guys, rehabbing a knee is always a difficult process. It's easy to get down or discouraged, to let setbacks consume you, but D'Eriq King never let that happen. He said he watched his mother, Cassandra, battle and beat breast cancer, which is way worse than anything he's had to go through. She never had a bad day. She controlled what she could control, which was her attitude and mindset. She always remained positive. That perspective helped him through 8 months of rehab to ensure he was ready to play by week 1. He says his mom is the strongest person he knows. Guess what? Cassandra says the same thing about him.
Adversity forges young people, and he's been through a lot of it. King now on first down, and he gets this complete to Rambo. And Katie, not just what he went through in watching his mom, but that difficult stretch. He transfers to Miami, Katie, and then he loses his father unexpectedly. A heart attack took his life.
Yeah, it was extremely emotional for him. Luckily, COVID-19 played a good part because he was able to go back to Houston for a couple months and be there with his mother, be there with his brother. And so he said he took that time to really emotionally support those two individuals in his life. But yes, that heart attack was unexpected, caught the entire family and Houston community by surprise. This is an unbelievably resilient young man. He has dealt with his fair share of adversity that most individuals would never have to go through.
And now he's finding a rhythm, and here goes Rambo.
And I love De'Aaron King. There are very few players that you really do fall in love with. He's one of them for me. I've been around him since he was back at Houston playing wide receiver when Greg Ward was the quarterback. And I remember that staff telling me, this young man, De'Aaron King, he's different, guys. He's different. We all know his story. He started in high school ahead of Kyle Trask and went on to Houston, played receiver, whatever it takes to help the team, transfers here to Miami, and has been a breath of fresh air in revitalizing an offense that had been stagnant for quite some time.
So after the 21-yard catch by Rambo, now Harris on the side. You brought up the fact that he played receiver. I mean, this is a guy who is responsible for over 10,000 yards in his college career, the passing yards, the rushing yards. But Greg, 520 receiving yards. The guy's got kick return yards, punt return yards, you name it.
He's just a great football player. And what I've been impressed with is just how accurate he's become. I mean, at first, early in his career, a little erratic, great athlete, and he's just gotten more and more polished as he's moved along. And has really done a beautiful job in Rhett Lashley's offense.
Looking for something, able to extend, and able to get to the corner and tiptoe. A surgically repaired right knee, but all that rehab, you see that explosiveness.
Yeah, and that's a play right there that just not that many quarterbacks can make, man. It feels like the pocket's collapsing around you. He somehow finds a way to escape, and not just escape, but create positive yards as a result of it. That was a nice job there by De'Aaron King.
Leaves him with a 3rd and 7.
Possible 4-down territory here too. So you can run it if the box defensively looks like you can take advantage of it. And it looks like here you might be able to. No, they move him back down inside. This would be a pass look for the Hurricanes.
3rd and 7 for King. And Rambo shakes free again. Charleston Rambo, and Miami's in business. 1st down, Canes.
That's just stealing right there. I mean, if you're Michigan State, you can't play press bail. Your corner is sitting out there on 3rd and 7+, and he's taking off, scared to get beat deep. Well, you just gave up a free completion and didn't do a good job either of coming up and making a tackle. They have got to be more aggressive on the perimeter. Miami will throw hitches all day long.
And off of that stack release, Rambo is able to get another catch. So they stack Restrepo and Rambo, and in doing so, they get the quick throw to the outside. 9 more yards for the Canes.
Yeah, make Miami. If I'm Michigan State, I'm making Miami throw it over my head on the next series because these hitches underneath are not going to fly. And if I'm Miami, man, I'm just pounding it right now. Big running back between the tackles.
King, quarterback run, near side. Can he find something? No, he is wrapped up. Good job down the line by Michigan State. That was Chester Kimbrough with the tackle, and Snow coming in as well.
You see King get up and didn't look real comfortable there as he's kind of limping a little bit, maybe favoring that right leg, and of course that's the leg that was surgically repaired, so keep an eye on him. If you're the offensive coordinator, Rhett Lashley, you got to take that into account and don't open your quarterback up to potential risk knowing he might not be at 100% on this snap.
9th play of the drive. Tempo has worked, and now they give a little window dressing and flex out the tight ends on 3rd and 2. Sprint right, looking to the end zone. King goes to the back of the end zone, but overthrows the intended target. He was looking for the freshman from Texas, Arroyo.
Oh, man. Offense staying on the field for Miami. With the way Michigan State's played up front, you almost got to think that they're thinking throw here. The King doesn't look like he's super mobile with how he's moving, favoring that right leg.
Remember when Rhett Lashley said, we must finish drives? He's going for it on 4th and 2, Diaz and Lashley. King going to test the other side. To the end zone he goes. Oh, was that easy? Rambo was just standing there like a tin man with his heels at the back of the end zone and said, "Thank you very much. Touchdown, Canes."
Just beautiful patience by De'Aaron King. This is the same play, little sprint right option. You want to hit that guy in the front right of the end zone, but Michigan State does a good job of taking that guy away. Too much flow to the right. King gets patient, finds his receiver in the back of the end zone, and a good job too by Rambo staying put. And I bet that ball for Rambo felt like it was in the air for about 60 yards. He was about as open as you get.
Rambo had 5 catches for 70 yards and that 4th down touchdown on that drive alone. All week long, you heard everybody involved in this offense. As Borregales caps the extra point, saying, "We feel like we're real close, real close." So on that drive, they looked it like they're there. King 13 of 15, a $125 and a touchdown to Rambo.
College football presented by Arby's on ABC is brought to you by General Mills. This football season, it doesn't matter where you're watching or how you pregame. We are all Tailgate Nation. So let's prep your home field with the ultimate game time game plan, including tasty recipes and savings at wearetailgatenation.com.
Yeah, they've had some good ones through the years, haven't they? Of course, 5 national championships to go along with it. And here's the current one. De'Aaron King, as he's talking things over with Rhett Lashley, sensational on that last drive, 6 of 7. Greg, you know, this is the first time Rhett Lashley has had the same quarterback in back-to-back years in an offense that he's been play calling since Nick Marshall back at Auburn, that great Auburn team. That makes a difference.
It's a huge difference, especially when you're trying to play with tempo, right? I mean, when you're tempoing, man, your quarterback's you.
And Reed on the return from his goal line. Taken down at the 20. Flag is down at the 16. Looks like we'll have a holding call here.
It looked like number 81 for Michigan State just kind of tackled a Hurricane as he was running down the field.
During the return, holding, return team number 81. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, Michigan State.
We just mentioned Nick Marshall at Auburn back in Rhett Lashley's past. Speaking of Auburn, what a game tonight. Saturday Night Football presented by Capital One, the annual whiteout game in Happy Valley. Number 22, number 10, Auburn, Penn State tonight at 7:30. What is Bo Nix in store for in that setting?
Buckle up, man. It's going to be awesome. We know that Bo has not played as well away from Jordan Hare as he does in the friendly confines on the Plains, so it's going to be huge for him to keep his cool, stay in the moment, and lean on that potent rushing attack.
Quickly to the outside. Mosley gets free. Trey Mosley's going to turn it on and finally be chased down. Jump play, Sparty. Late flag on the field. Great explosive play by Trey Mosley.
Yeah, just easy as can be. A little bubble to the field and bad tackling by the Hurricanes on the perimeter. How about Mosley, though, showcasing that speed, almost gets behind Williams, and he has to drag him down from his horse collar.
That's the 6'5" freshman, James Williams.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle. Number 0 in the defense. 15-yard penalty to be added on the end of the run. Automatic. First down.
Trey Mosley, 51 yards, and tack on something extra. So perfect scenario for Michigan State to respond after that great-looking Miami drive.
Really,
already inside the 25.
Beautiful response there on the first play, and that's some of the difference that you see from Michigan State this year. A lot more explosiveness amongst their skill position players.
Simmons, not much there. Keeps the leg drive going for 2 yards. Jordan Simmons, who had a good game last week against an overmatched Youngstown State team, went for 121 yards. Second and 8. check down. It'll be 3rd and 8.
Good lose there by Thorne. Sometimes the best option is to throw away. A big play here from Miami's defensive front. Usually this down and distance, Manny Diaz will bring the house. Man, here in the red zone, space is condensed, still have a young quarterback. I'm dropping into coverage. See if he can find a hole or a void in the zone.
Taking reads to the bottom of your screen. Speedy Naylor to the top on 3rd and 8.
The receivers at the bottom don't know the play. They keep looking back at their quarterback.
Thorne's directing traffic, goes across the grain, which is always dangerous. He was looking for Speedy Naylor, and that ball finally went to the turf. Jade Silvera was tracking down Thorne.
It looked like the bottom there. 2 receivers to the bottom. They didn't know what was going on. They're looking over there. What's the play? Hey, give me the play.
Wow.
And then as soon as Thorne breaks the pocket, he's trying to direct traffic. I think they weren't on the same page. He was expecting something. They didn't have the call. Just a miscommunication there by the Spartans offense.
Coughlin, a 39-yard attempt. And that leaks to the right. So they open with a bang on that series, the Mosley 51-yard play, but it ends up being a dud. They come away with no points. Manny Diaz says, that's the way we like it down here. 7-3 Canes.
Welcome back to Coral Gables. Miami has a 7-3 lead over Michigan State. And guys, the temperature right now says it's 90 degrees. Over on this Michigan State sideline, it feels like 110. There is not an ounce of shade. I've seen defensive players using an oxygen tank in between series. Peyton Thorne continues to dip his towel in ice water, putting it around his neck. These guys are hot on this sideline.
Something we will continue to monitor, the conditions down at field level.
Isn't it
Mike
nice?
Harley with the catch.
Isn't it nice to be the home team? Let's take a peek at the Miami sideline. It's the perfect amount of shade right over as Michigan State is baking on the far side.
King went 14 yards to Harley. Now he wants more than that, and going up and getting it is Harley again. The leader of the receivers who came back for this year said he wanted to set the tone, and he is. King. He is in rhythm now. De'Aaron King goes to the other side to Wiggins.
How about the fearlessness of Harley here? Knowing that there's a safety coming that might just clean him out. And my goodness, going up making a great play.
Harris. He cuts back, and that'll be another first down for Miami.
I like the tempo that Miami's starting to put forth. You know, that Michigan State team is feeling the heat, literally and figuratively. Right now, Miami in a really nice rhythm offensively.
Scotty Hazelton, defensive coordinator for the Spartans, going up against Rhett Lashley, a guy who is often talked about as one of those hot names, could be a head coach candidate soon enough. We'll see how this offense continues to perform this year.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But I hate this if I'm Miami, man. I mean, the officials, they stop it, have a long conversation, just destroys the rhythm that you have offensively. I mean, you're moving, chains are moving, 2nd and 1, you just pick up the first down. And then the officials take the air out of the play. So hard on the offense.
Legal substitution, defense, more than 11 players on the field, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Now, I understand that they got it right, but the result is a 5-yard gain. If I'm Miami, I don't care about the 12 players on the field. Just let me continue with the tempo. I don't care. We're moving, we're shaking. Okay, we gained 4 as opposed to 5. So be it, right? The offense will take it. What I'd prefer if I'm the offense is to keep the pedal down. I know the officials have to get it right. I understand that. But as an offensive player, that used to drive me absolutely crazy when the officials would stop the play when it doesn't really have that much of an effect on the outcome of the previous play. I'm off my soapbox.
Oh no, you stay right there, my man.
I've done this a couple
times. You swing that bat of opinion all you want. Bash me over the head with it, as far as I'm concerned. And now we're going to get another official's timeout.
And this just stalls the drive. Just absolutely stalls the drive. And Manny Diaz, obviously very frustrated.
They are up tempo. That's what they want to be, John Perry. The officials are getting in the way of it.
The game clock is correct. First down, Miami.
And
let's bring in our rules expert, John Perry. John, your take on that, what Greg just put forth.
Well, number one, I can remember getting yelled at by Greg McElroy for this, so I get it. You know what? Do the simple things extraordinarily well. When you slow the game down, the pace down for something simple like this, it's not what any of us want.
First down, King to the end zone. He goes. And the flag will come out at the end of that play as Kimbrough had coverage on Keyshawn Smith.
Now, if you're an offensive player, you're okay stopping it for a defensive pass interference. That's an example where you might be okay with the stoppage.
Pass interference. Defense, number 12. Automatic. First down.
You see Miami taking advantage now. I think Michigan State defensively, they said, man, we're not giving up these hitches underneath anymore, so if Miami's going to beat us, they're going to have to throw it over their head. So right there, that was a nice job of D'Eriq King dropping it in the bucket. And almost had the catch if not for the interference.
First and goal, Canes. Harris out of the backfield, well defended. That was well played by Darius Snow.
It's really nice from Snow, man. And I've been so impressed watching this Michigan State defense all week. They're very strong up front, which should come as no surprise. The second-level defenders and linebackers are very active, but what I really like are those safeties, man. They're instinctive. They diagnose and they close. And when they close, you're not breaking free. Very few missed tackles through 2 games of the season for Scotty Hazelton's defense.
Also 3, second and goal from the 11. Should have been caught for a touchdown by Mallory.
Man, what a disappointing play for Miami's offense. Just a perfectly thrown ball. Throw it away from the defender. You hit him right on the left pec. And that's one that Mallory absolutely has to have.
King drove it right into his chest. But instead, they're facing a 3rd and goal. King on 3rd down, scrambling. Flag is down, may have holding on the right side of that line as he was met by Xavier Henderson.
Holding. Offense, number 70. 10-yard penalty from the previous line of scrimmage. 3rd down.
Remember, new look on the right side of that line. Lolo Washone comes over the right guard. Williams starting at right tackle. Rivers, the left guard, was injured earlier, and they brought Donaldson, who had been the starting right guard, in at left guard.
I'm a little surprised they took the penalty.
Agreed.
I mean, they're well within field goal range. And yet they were off the field. Highly unlikely that Miami's going to go for it on 4th and goal from the 5 or 6. I'm really surprised. Now you can just throw it at the end zone. Maybe you get a jump ball. Maybe you get another pass interference.
3rd and goal. He's going to check down to Harris. And Harris will be swarmed, and another penalty comes in. All of a sudden, this thing is getting choppy with all the yellow flags on the grass. Third year for Manny Diaz with the Canes.
And you have to wonder, I'm not going to harp on it, you have to wonder if the outcome of this drive would be a little different if not for that time that was taken
Holding.
on the 12-man.
Offense. Number 5. Penalties decline. 4th down.
We talk about rhythm. You speak with Rhett Lashley, who you see there, the offensive coordinator. Rhythm, pace, all of a sudden it was taken away with the officials communicating.
Another look there at the hold. Didn't see a whole lot there, but either way, penalty declined. And a good stop there by the Michigan State defense when they were on their heels.
Borregales, the freshman kicker, comes on for the 27-yard attempt. Made the go-ahead 43-yarder last week with 2 minutes remaining against App State. And he cannot connect here. Put it to the left of the upright. And Mel Tucker says, oh yeah. How's that feel? Still 7-3. High above Hard Rock with aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, making the plays that move you forward. Goodyear, more driven. Joe Tessitore, Greg McElroy, Katie George with you in a 7-3 Miami lead. And Diaz, head coach of the Canes, as Peyton Thorne takes a shot downfield to no one. We had an interesting discussion with Manny Diaz the other day because, listen, you look at their schedule and obviously you're circling week 1 because you're playing Alabama. And then you go out and what happens to you happens to everybody that plays against Alabama. You lose by a wide margin and then you have to be resilient and come back and win against App State. He said, I don't think I realized how much of an emotional toll it is on our players coming off the Alabama game.
Yeah, and it's hard. And you got to play a team like App State that's always ready to rock and roll. That was a tough game last week and they showed some heart by finishing the way they did.
Walker on 2nd and 10. Walker gets to the edge. This kid has shown something since transferring over from Wake Forest.
I'm really impressed with Kenneth Walker. Have been all year. He has been absolutely outstanding. And I feel like the Miami players, man, everybody that's playing him is like, man, this guy's faster than I realized. The angles that people take against him just aren't great. He always seems to capture the edge, man. He has surprising top-end speed and really nice acceleration. But, man, the biggest thing from him is his feel and his vision and patience as he attacks the hole.
I'm going to check down to Kenneth Walker, and Walker makes the most of that for a few yards. You know, Michigan State last year, Greg, they didn't have a rushing touchdown by a running back last year. They had a tight end, they had a quarterback, they had 2. Kenneth Walker comes out and right away he's got 5 rushing touchdowns in 2 games.
Yeah, how about the first play from offensive scrimmage of the 2021 season? It's a touchdown rushing to a running back. So it's a big difference, of course, this year versus last year. You almost rip off the rearview mirror if you're Mel Tucker and his staff, man. They are a completely different team this year with athleticism and good leadership on both lines of scrimmage.
So Jay Johnson, offensive coordinator, up in the booth. And play calling's easy when you can give it to this guy. Kenneth Walker does it again on 2nd and 6, moves the chains. Bolden finally tracked him down. 25 yards on that run for Walker.
And once again, I mean, just how about the cutback by Walker? I mean, it's a thing of beauty. You look at the Miami players that are rushing inside and nobody's home on the outside, and Walker finds that space. It's just been so fun to watch this young man work throughout the course of this season, man. Continuing to do it here today against a pretty decent running defense for the Hurricanes.
Walker again, and Walker, look at the balance, look at the leg drive as he works it to the 34-yard line.
Really nice drive right here. The last couple drives from Michigan State just starting to really lean on that Miami offensive front. Allow that offensive line that does an excellent job getting a surge, playing well together. A lot of veterans up there. Allow those guys to control the flow of the game.
2nd and 5. Quickly getting it to Naylor. Speedy Naylor! Named perfectly, isn't he? To the outside and a burst. Hitchens had to run him down. But Speedy Naylor now has Michigan State in prime position. 27 yards there. 1st and goal, Sparty. Thorne to the other side, to the end zone. Incomplete. Reed, the intended target. And Reed looks like he is in pain, laying just beyond the goal line. And he has been dynamic, off to an amazing start this season. Good to see him up on his feet.
And hopefully he's okay. He just landed really hard as his back hits the turf. Almost had it, but you see that head snap back and hit. Hopefully he's okay. And you see that right leg too, kind of just hit down a little awkwardly for Reed as Stevenson was on, stepped on him awkwardly.
Yeah, that knee of Stevenson may have come into the right rib cage. Jaden Reed, so he walks off with the trainers. Last week he had 181 yards and 2 touchdowns. 8th play of this drive coming. Speedy Naylor had the big play to put them in position. 2nd and goal. Tight ends bunch to the right side. Simmons, the running back, and Simmons struggles to get back to the line of scrimmage as they were waiting on him.
And if you're Michigan State, man, all the room for you has been on the edges. Right now, Miami has not done a good job of containing Walker, especially as he gets outside the tackle, man. So if you're going to try to run it here, man, you got to get it outside the tackle. And if you're not, look in the direction of Speedy Naylor. Got a one-on-one situation up top. And against pressure, he might be the answer.
He's matched up with Couch. 3rd and goal. Walker into the end zone. Kenneth Walker, do it all. He did it all. Every which way. Running the ball, and now a 6-yard touchdown catch.
Just a great job by Walker, jumping leverage to the flat, breaking a tackle, and finding pay dirt. Just an unbelievable job there, as Corey Flagg had an opportunity to bring him down in the field of play, but Walker just too much.
(10-7) Michigan State lead. We'll be back in 10 seconds. Now a look from Ram Trucks.
Ram Trucks, built to serve.
Kenneth Walker, one-man show at times. Just had the touchdown catch. 101 yards in total offense.
Really nice drive there from Michigan State. Walker was outstanding, but Miami's going to have to make some adjustments defensively, because right now they are not containing the football. Every opportunity Michigan State had that drive to get outside, they got outside, and there was no Hurricane defender there. So just a great job of taking advantage of Miami's inability to keep the ball inside. Wonderful drive from Michigan State's offense.
Now, there was a phrase that we used before we kicked off today, and then you see how this Michigan State team goes about it, and you realize how much they've been able to reshape the roster with guys like Kenneth Walker. And that is a program that's ahead of schedule. Come down here to Miami with an offense that feels like they are finding their rhythm on a day like today, and you got a 10-7 lead. We got halftime coming up soon enough. Let's check in with the guys. Guys, I'm looking forward to catching up on that Indiana-Cincinnati game. I know Michael Penix Jr. has a couple touchdown passes, and Ritter is yet to get going through an interception, trailing by 2 scores. Reverse. And getting to the edge.
They're going to get a 15-yard penalty here on Miami on the crackback block. As you see right there, man. Huge block from Corey Gaynor, the center.
Personal foul. Offense. Illegal blindside block. Be half the distance to the goal. Remains first down.
Center Gaynor. It's very clear. I'm not sure what the fans are booing about. That's about as typical a blindside block as you're ever going to see.
So the question some might be asking, blindside block Saturdays versus Sundays. Here, that player could not defend himself. He is blindly hit it. It's a correct call.
Eric King trying to get to the edge off a seal block, and he struggles just to get a yard and a half as Dowell was tracking him down from that defensive back position.
And Miami just can't seem to get out of their own way. I mean, making mistakes, penalties, catching the ball inside the 5-yard line on a punt return. And they have made a bunch of errors and yet still within striking distance. So got to collect themselves and quit making those mistakes on offense and on defense.
2nd and 21. King with time, muscles it to the 30-yard line and is able to find Charleston Rambo, who has been his favorite target so far in this first half. 17 yards there. 8th catch on 8 targets for Rambo.
Really nice catch, really nice design against the soft zone coverage from Michigan State. Make this 3rd down and manageable. The officials are having a conversation again, man. I mean, this has been over and over again, these officials.
Operator, please put 1:55, 1:55 on the game clock. Thank you.
And it comes at the cost of Miami's identity as an offense, to your point. They want pace, they want tempo. Third and 4. One-man rush. King. Easy completion again to Rambo. What a first half Charleston Rambo is having. Over 100 yards, 9 catches, another first down.
And these corners are going to have to make some adjustments in the second half, because right now they're just giving these hitches to the field away over and over and over again. Now, that's an easy throw for the quarterback, and Rambo's going to rack up a bunch of targets if they keep playing that defensive look.
King on first down. King wants more than just the hitch, but it is picked off. Sensational stop by Sparty. Interception by Angelo Gross. Flag is down. We'll check on that as the Miami offense trots off the field.
The ruling on the field is an interception. 1st and 10 for Michigan State. Sideline warning. First of the game for Michigan State. First down.
And this is just rock and roll of the safeties right here. D'Eriq King's a veteran guy. He's got to see that, because it's clear as day what those safeties are looking at. I mean, they're watching D'Eriq King's eyes. His eyes are to the right the entire time. The free safety can just fly right out underneath it. That is stealing, because it also is in the air far too long. If you're trying to throw a seam route, it's got to be between 18 and 22 yards. That time, more like 25 to 28 yards. That free safety is going to be all over it immediately. That was a gimme there for the Michigan State defense, and a bad play there by the veteran quarterback.
Second Miami turnover. Thorne setting up the screen, does so to Hayward, and Connor Hayward now is rumbling towards midfield. 3 timeouts to work with for Michigan State. 3-point lead. Clock counting down to 1:15. Back under center. Thorne with time lofts it downfield. And a receiver went down just inside the 40-yard line. That was Speedy Naylor.
If you're Thorne, you got to be really smart here. You can, of course, go into halftime with a nice lead. Would love to have an opportunity to give Coughlin a chance to kick a field goal, steal some points here before the half, but don't take any unnecessary risks with the football, especially over the middle of the defense.
There's a man crashing into the face of Peyton Thorne, and a flag comes in. They had pressure coming off the edge. I think it was DeAndre Johnson who got his arm wrapped around the neck of Peyton Thorne.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 8, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Another costly mistake. And all of a sudden, that ball is marching deeper into Miami territory.
And it's coming off the left side. It's a good rush by DeAndre Johnson, but you can't really see. Does he throw him down late? Yeah, it looks like he does. It's close. I don't know if I love the call, but I got to protect the quarterback. I understand that. Also, too, it kind of attacked the head or neck area of the quarterback who's a defensive player. So you got to be a little careful there if you're a defensive end. Some dumb penalties from Miami throughout the course of the first half.
6 penalties for 53 yards. Walker tackled for a loss. Steed again, who gets the start, probably do so for the next month. With Keontre Smith out. Week 2 Monday Night Football. We'll have the Packers and the Lions. 8 Eastern on ESPN. Monday Night Countdown, of course, starts at 6. And over at ESPN2, with Peyton and Eli are getting great reviews with what they're doing with the alternate broadcast. You can see them at 8 p.m. on ESPN2 for the Monday night matchup between the Lions and the Packers. All offseason we talked about Miami and North Carolina. Who's the second best team in the ACC? Right. Who is? A lot of people say, I love the Canes.
Yeah.
I love what they got up front defensively. I love the veteran leadership and explosive plays with De'Ara King. And now all of a sudden, you know what happens with Alabama? You struggle to get past App State. And here's this pesky Michigan State team that believes so much in who they are and what they are. 2-0, and they're looking for more before halftime. A tightly played game. 2nd and 15. That is incomplete. Thorne was trying to drive it to Terry Lockett. It'll be 3rd down. 54 seconds remaining and 2 timeouts for Michigan State.
Based on the roster, I mean, Miami's roster is the second best roster in the ACC.
Yes.
And they have talented players that will play on Sundays. A lot of guys that will be wealthy guys playing the sport, man. But they will make way too many mistakes. They don't leverage the football. They got to make some adjustments in the second half, or else the disciplined Michigan State team has a chance to run them out of the gym.
Remember, Manny Diaz calls his own defense. Michigan State 3rd down here, 3rd and 15. They're 2 of 7 on 3rd downs. Thorne just gobbled up and driven back. Corey Flagg coming straight in, that middle linebacker, and taking down Thorne. And yet another flag is down.
Sideline warning, Miami, their first of the game. Timeout, Miami.
It's just a great job by Flagg. His eyes are in the backfield the whole time. You're going to see him. This is called a green dog. which means as soon as no one's blocking him, he's got the green light. Go ahead. As you see Thorne step up, flag recognizes that and closes quickly. That's a great job by the linebacker.
Well, Tess, this is right up your alley. Corey Flagg Jr. wanted to drop weight and improve his stamina this offseason, so he took up boxing, working with a local trainer, and fell in love with it. Now, he did say the first week was absolutely brutal because he didn't realize that it was such a total body workout, but after a few months, he met his weight goal of 230 pounds, which translated to on-field speed, which we just saw. And I had to ask him, guys, what his favorite move was. He said, no doubt, it's the hook, but he is fond of the uppercut as well, Tess.
And he showed an uppercut knockout punch there. We got to get my man to the 5th Street Gym where the great Muhammad Ali was training just a few blocks away back in the day. Younger is going to try to pin inside the 10 as it leaks into the end zone. But Corey Flagg came up with a big play there. A sack on Thorne. 3rd Miami sack today.
And so far, Miami's done a decent job of getting into a rhythm offensively, but some of the same issues have plagued them. They haven't been able to finish. They've had far too many drop passes. They've probably had 3 or 4 drops already today. So there have been opportunities, and they got to feel decent. They did not play well here in the first half of this football game, and yet they're only down 3 against a very good football team. So you almost, if you're Miami, while you're mad, you're also looking at it thinking, you know what, man, can't play much worse than that. And yet we're within striking distance. And if you're Michigan State, man, much of the same. Keep feeding Kenneth Walker. Keep mixing run pass and being balanced, and you're going to be all right throughout the rest of this game.
Harris, first down run, and it's a good one. As he goes after 10-plus yards, that leaves 32 seconds. Miami 2 timeouts remaining. Listen, not to get lost with the choppy play, the sloppy play, the self-inflicted wounds of penalties and turnovers, but D'Eriq King, 20 of 24 for 210 yards in this first half. It's about rhythm. It's about that consistent pace and the offense getting in a rhythm.
Being patient, too. That last interception, that was just impatient, trying to make a play when it wasn't there to be made.
It's incomplete. Rambo tried his best to go up high and stay in. Beasley was coming in on King off the edge. Sixth year of college football for D'Eriq King. A long path, the transfer from Houston after that sensational career there. And last year, the COVID year with the Canes. And now the comeback year off the torn right ACL. 2nd and 10, complete. Smith, and he gets it to the 49-yard line. Remember, 2 timeouts remain for Miami. Clock stops moving the chains.
Go up there and spike it if you're D'Eriq King.
And that's what he will do. He will clock it. Right now it says 17 seconds.
This is an opportunity here. Miami still with a timeout in their hip pocket. You can work the middle of the field if you so choose. And if you have an opportunity in one-on-one, man, take a shot downfield. Those safeties get a little tight.
See if they can give Borregales a chance, the freshman kicker. King. 9-yard reception by Rambo. And clock counts down, and a timeout has to be used. Now Charleston Rambo with another 8 yards. He has 10 catches and 117 yards and had that touchdown on 4th down earlier.
Yeah, and he's been excellent, but they've really given him an awful lot. I mean, just playing very soft coverage, giving him a lot of easy completions underneath. Here's a hitch, really nice here after the catch. They did this a couple times. As soon as he catches it, bursts, makes a guy miss, and he's out the gate. And then this one, just staying put in the back of the end zone. Rambo's been really good here in the first half of this football game when others have made some drops. You've seen Mallory drop one. You saw Mike Harley drop one. He's been sure-handed, the transfer from Oklahoma, and has clearly been a big reason why Miami's been able to put together a couple of nice offensive drives. Just got to learn how to finish here in the second half of this football game.
No timeouts remain for Miami. 9 seconds on the clock. King, incomplete. Trying to get it to Harley.
That's aggressive there with no timeouts left. Catch it, he gets tackled. The clock stops for the chains to move. But for you to get everyone lined up and spike it with just 5 seconds left, that's cutting it a little close. So if you're going to work it, I suggest working it to the boundary up top. Throw a quick out route, 5 yards or so. Make your field goal kicker just a little bit better.
Michigan State's going to use a timeout. UFC Fight Night is coming to you from the Apex in Vegas as Smith takes on Spahn in a middleweight event. Prelims will get going on ESPN Plus at 4 Eastern. And of course, also tonight, you got Auburn, Penn State. This gets us started here. Michigan State and Miami. Looking forward to a great day ahead. I mean, that whiteout up in Penn State, what we're going
it's going to be rocking.
See tonight. I hear some of the guys, Chris Fowler was saying, listen, I think it's one of the best settings in all sports. I had the chance to call one of them, 4 overtimes. Michigan, Penn State.
Yeah.
It is unlike anything else in the sport.
I've never been there. I've never been there. It's a bucket list.
Well, you've been in the Iron Bowl. You know what that's
they're
all
in
about.
Iowa are bucket list for me, but it's going to be awesome tonight. I can't wait to watch it.
Last chance in the first half. And incomplete. Well, Rambo was the target there. He had 117 yards and the touchdown. But this Michigan State team, they played like a team and took advantage of some opportunities and some Miami mistakes. And they will get the ball to start the second half with a 3-point lead. Mel Tucker described them as a desperate football team. I said, what do you mean by that, desperate? You guys are on the way up as a program. He said, now we employ those extreme measures. We attempt to escape defeat. He's very thoughtful, like a military leader. And that's how they've approached the season. And they got that fight and they've got that lead down here in South Florida. Katie?
Thanks, Tess. I appreciate it. Coach Tucker, you said turnovers were going to be crucial in this game. Your defense created 2. How would you assess the way they played this first half?
I thought our defense did a good job creating some turnovers, forcing some turnovers. We need to do a better job tackling on defense, but the guys are playing hard offensively. We finished some drives. We'll be okay.
Thanks for the time.
All right, thank you so much.
'24th ranked Miami trailing at home by 3 to 2-0 Michigan State. State Farm halftime report is still to come after these messages. We welcome you back to ESPN College Football on ABC, presented by Arby's on a hot, sunny day here in South Florida. Number 24, Miami, at home, trails this 2-0 Michigan State team. We've been talking about the mistakes from Miami. They fumble on their first drive when it looked like they found a little something, right? They miss a short field goal when they want to finish drives and get 7s, and then they drive into Michigan State territory and they throw an interception.
It's been one mistake after another, and that's really the story of the game so far. I mean, Miami's done a lot, 267 yards of offense. But here's the fumble that you alluded to on the first drive that was recovered by Michigan State. And then missed interception opportunity there by Stevenson on the left-hand side. Drop pass in the end zone by Mallory that was just an absolute drive killer. They missed a field goal a couple plays later after that. And then finally, Derek King forcing the ball on a seam late downfield, easily intercepted by the Spartans. They played really poorly. What we didn't show are all the penalties. So it could have been a lot worse, Joe.
Well, listen, there were times where things got real choppy because of all the penalties. Katie.
Well, Greg, I think you're a marvelous analyst, but you could make a good coach if you wanted. I just spoke with Manny Diaz, and he echoed the same sentiments. He said, look, we dropped a touchdown pass. We missed a field goal. It's been the story of the red zone. Both teams have actually struggled inside the 20. We have to go out here and get our offense going. I asked him, well, how do you do that? He said, easy, throwing and catching the football. Rambo has had an excellent first half. He said, we need other guys to step up and help out.
And Katie, right now, he needs his defense to do something early on. Diaz, of course, calls the defense, and it is Michigan State will start off with the ball. And then there is Kenneth Walker III, who has just been dynamic as the transfer running back.
Yeah, we knew he was good. I got to be honest, I didn't know he was this good. I mean, in person, he is so fast. He is so strong. And he almost never goes down upon initial contact. Has great feel, great on the cutback lanes. He's been a star today, not just on the ground, but through the air as well, as you see him cash in there for the touchdown. Kenneth Walker has been as advertised, and if Miami doesn't do a better job in the second half tackling him, they're going to be in for a long day with what that running back's capable of.
He will get the work to start off this second half, and he's got another big play as he's weaving throughout that Miami defense. 19 yards for Walker.
And how about the cutback again? As you see the defender there for Miami, Amari Carter, overplaying it. And then there in the third level, there's nobody home for Miami as he just dances his way to a beautiful first down run. I mean, Kenneth Walker has done it all today. Just outstanding.
He's over 100 yards rushing on the first play of the second half. Walker trying to bounce this just back to the line of scrimmage. After he had that great start to the season, week 1 against Northwestern, guy goes for 264 yards and 4 touchdowns. Mel Tucker said he comes in and he thanks the head coach for taking a chance on him. He says, Coach, thank you so much for taking a chance on him. He said, are you kidding me? Thank you for taking a chance on us. Taking a chance on me? What? Right. Thank you.
Absolutely. I mean, these guys, man, and he reminds me of some of the great backs that Michigan State's had over the years, man. He might be the next one in line.
Saw the offensive coordinator, Jay Johnson, who says, what do you say we work Kenneth Walker? The transfer's the big story when it comes to Michigan State.
And it's unbelievable. I mean, they've just completely turned everything over. Kenneth Walker, the aforementioned Kenneth Walker, what he's already added to the rush game. Then you add Horst, who's locked down that left tackle spot. Of course, quarterback's best friend is on the blind side. Then Jaden Reed, the transfer from Western Michigan, has been huge the last couple weeks.
3rd and 9, and that is incomplete as he was looking for Jaden Reed, but Al Blades had coverage on Reed. So the Miami defense does their job on 3rd down.
It's a good job there by Miami's defense. Obviously not so good on the first play of the second half. Giving Kenneth Walker a big old rushing lane to go through. A good job clamping down there around midfield and bringing some more pressure on Peyton Thorne.
They're under 4th punt today. Whistles come in pre-snap.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
And tough to broadcast a Michigan State game. You think of a punter without thinking about the great legacy of Mike Sadler, who was the first 4-time academic All-American at Michigan State, and tragically was lost in a car accident. But one of the all-time greats to ever play for the Spartans, All-America and Rose Bowl, and great fake punts through the years, and true All-American on the field as well. And Berenger continues on that legacy of punting at Michigan State. And does a good job inside the 10 with it. That's the way Sadler would have done it. All the way to the 5. 55-yard punt for the Spartans. Officials are back at midfield.
Legal formation on the kicking team. The 5-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the kick. 1st down.
They might re-kick here, actually. It looks like Manny Diaz is trying to get the officials' attention because they don't want to be backed up inside the 5.
Reminder, we got Saturday Night Football presented by Capital One, and it is going to be a scene now. It is the whiteout between number 22 Auburn and number 10 Penn State. Tonight at 7:30 Eastern on ABC. I mean, seeing Auburn from the Deep South, the SEC, the Grand Traditions, playing on the road against a Big Ten opponent. They played Wisconsin at Wisconsin all the way back in 1931. And now you get the rarity.
Your birth year
tonight. Oh, yeah, please.
Good one. Yeah. You look good for 80.
Thank you.
That's right. It's pretty awesome, man. I can't wait to watch that tonight. I mean, two teams that are both very physical, gotten off to great starts.
They're under to kick again. He skies another one, but this will go deep into the end zone. College football rankings each and every week are brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
Of course, that big game with Alabama going on the road the first time this year into a hostile environment. Of course, played in Atlanta against these Miami Hurricanes a couple weeks ago, but heading to the Swamp, a whole nother animal. South Carolina, their last trip to Athens, they actually beat the Georgia Bulldogs. I'm not so sure that's going to happen today. I mean, we just have a great weekend of college football. And I tell you what, Joe, I can't wait to buckle up and just watch as many games as humanly possible when this one goes final, because we have a lot to look forward to in what is another excellent weekend of matchups.
What is the answer for this Miami offense, Greg?
Got to just keep feeding the wide receivers. Their advantage against this Michigan State defense is on the perimeter against their corners. Their wide receivers against their corners is an advantage to Miami. You got to continue to take advantage of that.
King, look to the left, now comes back to the right side, and he was looking to his favorite target, Rambo, but it's incomplete. As Rambo had Brantley coming in and closing, the freshman who's from Florida, went to Venice High School in Sarasota before he headed to play in the Big Ten in East Lansing.
Yeah, and I think this was actually one that he might have gotten away with. That right there doesn't look as bad, but looked like he arrived just a touch before the ball did. Could have very easily been pass interference, but I think it was just close enough. It was pretty bang-bang. I'm okay with the official keeping the flag in his pocket.
King on second down, spins out, gets it to Harris. Harris cuts back at the 20 and then is taken down, and it's Brantley again.
It's been really impressive to watch this Michigan State defense. We all know that Miami has excellent athleticism, great speed on the field. And this Michigan State defense, really the second and third level, has done an awesome job flying sideline to sideline to neutralize that advantage. They've really done a good job of that so far today.
3 of 8 on third down. 3rd and 9. Rambo's to the bottom of your screen. King looks to the top. Drives the ball there, and it's incomplete. Smith couldn't hold on to it, and Scotty Hazelton's defense did their job. You know, Hazelton said what a difference a year makes. He goes, finally the full off season with the guys where they can learn the defense. Said they weren't learning stuff last spring when all the COVID protocols were in. Everybody had to go back home, and then you're just trying to get on the field and play ball. I said, this is different this year. This is a cohesive unit now, this defense.
Very much, and they playing like it. Now Miami's helping them a little bit with drops and mistakes and playing behind the sticks, but they've really done a good job of flying around and taking away what Miami does best.
Big Lou Headley on to punt, and they tried to get after it, and the flag comes down as Headley is on the ground. They came crashing into him. 51-yard punt, but we will await the flag. It was 4th and 9.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense. The ball is not tipped. It'll be a 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
And this is a big mistake from Michigan State. They had played a very smart football game in the first 30 minutes. And right here, Miami, after a great 3-and-out by your defense, you give them new life. You just can't do that. And you got to attack the kicking foot. You can't just go straight at the punter's body just to Just a bad mistake there from Michigan State.
Malik Carr, backup tight end who plays special teams, and running in on Headley. And that is how the Miami offense stays on the field. Defense did their job. And then Carr a little too aggressive. Harris, patient, and then gets to the edge. And cuts inside for a gain of 8. Flag is down back at the 32.
Holding. Offense. Number 60. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That time they're going to get Zion Nelson, the left tackle. Just can't continue to have these mistakes. His defense is too good. They're too athletic at the second and third levels to continually play behind the sticks. You have to stay in rhythm if you're this offense. And with the way Miami has been pitching and catching on some of the underneath stuff, surprised they're not starting their second half by throwing some of those hitches underneath that were so good for them.
King, and a tuck run. He can get upfield pretty quickly. Back to the original line of scrimmage.
Good job. When you get behind the sticks, your goal as a quarterback, get half of it back. Usually it's through the air, but King doing a good job with his legs there.
Harris gets ahead, straddling just over the 40-yard line. Be 3rd and 5, a long 5 from there. Halliday with the tackle.
So far today, Charleston Rambo has been their go-to guy in the passing game. He's working against a freshman in Charles Brantley. I like this matchup if I'm Miami. Run him on one of those locked hitches that's been really effective so far today, and then at some point, hit him with the double move. A little stop and go, a little hitch and go. Not here on a critical down and distance.
3rd down and 5. King trying to extend the play. Trying to get to the edge, but he is taken down. And that was Crouch who was staying with King. And King is still down. The last thing that the Canes want to see, their 6-year college football veteran being driven into the ground. That right shoulder, he reaches for it right away. That clavicle shoulder area. He is up and making his way to the bench. We will check on him when we return. Glad you're with us watching the ACC on ESPN. Michigan State up 10-7 on Miami. De'Aaron King is walking around telling people, I'm fine, I'm fine. Just nowhere near that medical tent. We went down hard on that right shoulder moments ago. Lou Headley, big Lou Headley, on to punt away to Jaden Reed. Been some pre-snap movement.
Ball start. Offense. Number 3. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
These penalties today for Coach Diaz's team. So King loosening up on the sideline. 8 penalties for 68 yards. Big number 94, 6'4" Australian punter on the punt away. Where's that 94? Because The Rock wore 94 back in the day. Reed, fair catch. Of course, Katie, Lou Headley has a college football bio like no other.
That is so true. He grew up playing Australian rules football and fell in love with the game, but school was never his passion. So he dropped out of high school, took a job as a scaffolder for 7 years, then became a co-owner of a tattoo shop in Bali. But he never lost the itch to play the game. He was convinced to join and train with Pro Kick Australia while he got his GED. He enrolled at a JUCO in San Fran. From there, Miami took notice. He flew across the country and became a Cane in 2019. He easily could have turned pro, guys, after last season, but he told me getting his college degree was a priority. With a 3-year-old son, he wanted to see this through.
He is seeing it through, and so is Kenneth Walker, who just is continually seeing the defensive backfield of Miami, because that's where he's running to time and again. 9 more yards, Greg.
Yeah, and they have got to do something to slow him down, man. He has been so good here in the first 30 minutes, 35 minutes of this football game. I mean, so physical. And he gets to top speed so fast, too. And if I'm Jay Johnson, I'm taking a shot right here. Second and short, I know my back's going to get it. I'm going to try to throw it over Miami's head.
It's a play caller's dream. But instead, they keep it on the ground with Walker, and again, they move the chains. But the point of emphasis for the Miami defense has been trying to stop the run. Remember last year, the whole situation against North Carolina when they got gashed for 554 rushing yards? They moved a lot of the defensive coaches around to various positions, but that has been the point of emphasis. We have to be better against the run.
And it starts with tackling. I mean, they have not tackled well today. They didn't tackle well against Alabama. So they have to get that addressed. And then you also got to do a better job leveraging the football. I mean, there have been way too many examples today where Kenneth Walker's been able to get to the edge at the perimeter, and there's no Miami Hurricane defender there.
Thorne, quick strike on the slants, and Hunt couldn't haul it in.
If I'm Jay Johnson, this offensive line is big and veteran. I'm just going to pound it with Walker. I like the idea, a little quick pop pass. Had a good opportunity there with Hunt. Wasn't able to bring it in, but man, anytime you drop back and throw it right now, you're almost doing Miami a favor.
Second and 10. Thorne had a man right in his face, but was able to get it complete to Reed. And Reed with the spin and a first down. That play was near disaster, and Thorne and Reed made magic.
Man, what a great job by Thorne. He's got the presence from McLeod there immediately. Got to get the ball out so quick. And he wears it too. And how about the run after catch by Reed? Just a thing of beauty from the outstanding wide receiver.
They've been doing that for a long time together, Thorne and Reed. First down, Thorne pumps, goes to the outside, incomplete. Thorne and Reed, who grew up together, very close relationship, known each other on a football field since 6th grade, playing youth football together.
And it shows too. I mean, just the chemistry between the two is outstanding, and it's amazing to see when you see a quarterback that just really loves his wide receiver. I mean, you could tell there's a love there between Peyton Thorne and Jaden Reed. There's a lot of trust in that too. Man, I'm going to throw it to you, go make a play for me, and Reed does more often than not.
Second and 10. Go inside to Hayward. Former running back, son of Ironhead. Like a freight train for Michigan State. And there is De'Ara King actually heading to the locker room. He was telling people he was fine. The trainers want to know it for sure. 24 yards for Connor Hayward. This time he goes to Lockett. Fourth start in the career of Peyton Thorne. He's here on the road against a top 25 team, managing things well, distributing the ball. This would be a big drive with a 3-point lead halfway through the third. And it's Walker. He continues to break tackles, and he's inside the 20-yard line for the Spartans. Big day out of Walker. 15 more yards to his total.
I mean, he's just wearing them out on this backdoor cut over and over and over again. It's probably the 4th or 5th time he's found it. Probably the 4th or 5th time he's had a huge gain as well. And how about the run as he gets to the next level? Making guys miss, finishing the run. Just a clinic tape in the run game for Kenneth Walker.
Well, he sticks that outside leg, and he's able to wiggle back to the inside. He's done that a couple of times this afternoon. Kenneth Walker, 134 yards rushing. And gets this ball to the 11-yard line.
And just one play after another, just cut back, cut back, cut back. Almost every single time, it seems, when he gets the football, there's no backside contain from Miami. So Kenneth Walker just hesitates, let that flow pass him by, cuts it back, and there's room. Sometimes it's 10 yards, sometimes it's 12 yards, sometimes it's 5 yards, but there's always space. This young man always seems to find it.
10th play of this drive coming for Thorne and the Spartans offense. And look at this. Speedy Naylor. Touchdown, Michigan State. They stay consistent. They stay the course. That's what we've seen from Michigan State this year. A lot of people looking around and saying, boy, have they changed things quickly. Transfer portal will do it. Good coaching will do it. And just like that, it is 17-7. And it's a Peyton Thorne in the side of Miami's defense.
How about the quarterback? How about the play call? Pitch and catch, and Naylor takes it to the house as Sparty's starting to open it up.
ESPN College Football on ABC presented by Arby's. 17-7. Michigan State ahead of Miami. There is Peyton Thorne, and moments ago he just threw his second touchdown pass of this afternoon. He went to Naylor for 11 yards, and it is a 10-point lead for this 2-0 Spartans team. The concern for Miami in mounting a comeback is what we just saw that happened to D'Eriq King. This is how he came down at the end of the play, then he went off to the locker room.
Yeah, rolling to the right, kind of lands awkwardly on that right shoulder. They looked at it briefly, went to the locker room. I'm glad to see he's going to be going back on the field.
Katie, what can you tell us?
Yeah, guys, well, I was told that his shoulder is okay. He just went back to the locker room for a quick minute to receive a little bit of treatment. And if there's anything that we know about this kid, if he can move and his team is in need of somebody to lead them, he's going to be back out on that field. So showing some great resiliency right now.
Dude's got unbelievable heart, man. That dude has heart.
Dealing with adversity, it's all he knows. And he gets it complete, and coming back in to Arroyo.
They're going to need to help him out, too. I mean, their quarterback has given them opportunities. They made a couple mistakes, hasn't been flawless. The fumble, the interception, but man, he's had a lot of drops, too. I mean, he needs these wide receivers to step up because Michigan State's going to start challenging them at the line of scrimmage.
King goes to the other side, and in doing so is able to get it complete to Smith.
Still plenty of time in this football game. Don't need to put it in hyper speed just yet. Still a couple possession game.
Rainbow's over there on the sideline. First down. King. And he gets it complete for another first down to D. Wiggins.
So that shoulder's fine after that throw. That was a long throw. That ball traveled in the air quite a ways. So I think he's going to be just fine the rest of the game. Glad to see it, too. This young man, they need him to get this offense going.
Harris, he's met right at midfield, and then he just falls forward after Van Sumeren was able to track him.
They just haven't been able to get much going on the ground, too. That's a testament to Michigan State and that defensive front just flying around. Cam Harris, only 4 yards per carry, and he had one that was pretty decent earlier.
Only 48 rush yards as a team. 2nd and 9. Art Lashley and that Miami staff trying to spark something here with the play calling for D'Eriq King. And that is incomplete. Smith was the intended target. And there was some pressure coming straight up the middle.
A lot of heat right up the middle. Quavaris Crouch applying it to D'Eriq King, and I think it's 4-down territory here. I know it's early. Your defense hasn't done a great job against Kenneth Walker all day. I think you got to start thinking about it. If you can get to 4th and 2 or 3, keep the offense on the field this part of the field.
For now, it's a 3rd and 9. Pressure off the edge, able to pick it up. Now King tries to extend, and it's dragging to the right and complete for a first down to Brinson. And they feel like Brinson is going to develop into a very good receiver as the years go on. 6'2" target with the conversion there.
Good job on the scramble drill.
King escapes for the moment and then gets it complete. And here is Rambo. As Rambo has it inside the 15-yard line. And a Michigan State player is down back at the 42-yard line. After a 24-yard reception by Charleston, Rambo. We'll check on Slade when we return.
And here's a view of that 3rd down conversion from our AT&T 5G Skycam. You're going to see this guy go across, and 2 Miami players are basically going to try to pick up that linebacker. Well, in comes the wrapper right around. When you have 2 going to 1, you have a bust up front clearly, and Beasley's able to force D'Eriq King out of the pocket. Fortunately for D'Eriq, he had a guy waiting as a great 3rd down conversion.
It's a gotta-have-it kind of drive for Miami. King. That was denied as Crouch was coming across defensively and looked to get a piece of it.
Ooh, man, that was close. D'Eriq just a little bit late there on the over route as Crouch almost got a piece of it. You see him come back to him. That was number 2 in the progression, and it got deflected by Crouch. Really close to being intercepted. Got to be on time. These windows are tight this part of the field.
1 by 10. 2nd down. King goes short to Harley. And they're saying hit the ground, incomplete. Going to be 3rd and 10.
Let's take a peek. Yep. It's a good job by the official, seeing that ball get trapped by Harley down around his ribcage.
What does Rep Lashley go with here on 3rd and 10? 10th play of the drive. They're 4 of 11 on 3rd downs.
And a pressure look coming here from Michigan State. Let's see if they drop out.
King to the end zone. That's a touchdown for the Canes. It's a big day for Rambo. Flag is down at the 1-yard line as Rambo's off celebrating.
How about this throw? Woo!
Oh, tight window? Yeah, I'll put it right through it.
Thread the needle.
Look at that.
And as you see the safety coming over the top, Angelo Gross. Through a flag. Are they going to check it for targeting?
The result of the play is a touchdown. Personal foul. Targeting. Defense. Number 15. That aspect of the play is under further review.
That's Gross, who they've tagged with targeting. Remember, he had an interception before halftime.
In order for it to be targeting, there has to be an indicator. And the indicator would be a launch or thrust. Let's look at Gross. There is the launch. See him launch upward towards Rambo. That's the launch. That's the indicator. We know it's a defenseless player as Rambo's a receiver, carries that defenseless tag. The question now becomes, is there forcible contact to the head or neck area? And right there, it's very close. It looks like he hits him more in the midsection, frankly, than the head or neck area. But you can see the launch, and you know he's defenseless, so this is going to be really close.
Our 3-time Super Bowl champion referee, John Perry, what say you?
Greg, if you just keep rolling, we're going to put stripes on you. Look, we don't have all three ingredients, in my opinion.
I'm with you.
The player does a nice job of trying to get the shoulder in and the helmet out and hit the target zone, which is beneath the neck and above the waist. I don't think this is targeting.
I agree.
I hope they'll take it off.
I agree with you, John. He doesn't make forcible contact to the head or neck area. He makes forcible contact, but it's to the body. And lucky for him, Rambo jumped to make the play. If Rambo was at eye level, that probably would be targeting. So I don't think it is. Like you said, it has to have all three.
After further review, there is no targeting on the play. Number 15 may remain in the game. The hit was shoulder to chest. Zone of play, touchdown.
That's big for Michigan State defensively. But what did we just say about the gotta have it on this drive?
Yeah.
As the touchdown rings are being put forth by Charleston Rambo. Charleston Rambo, who has 12 catches for 156 yards and 2 touchdowns. On a day where there's been choppy waters for the Miami offense, Charleston Rambo has been smooth sailing. Charleston Rambo has been dynamite for Manny Diaz and Rhett Lashley and De'Ara King. And De'Ara King, who went to the locker room to get treatment after being driven into the ground on that right shoulder, he looked just fine.
He looks very comfortable. That was a very nice drive from Miami offensively.
And with that spark, we've got ourselves a game here with under 4 minutes to go in the third. Kings over 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. Katie?
Well, guys, Charleston Rambo came over to a celebration on the sidelines, got the touchdown rings, threw them up for us, got it on camera, and then I said, how'd you hold on to that? And he put up the muscles. He showed me his bicep. He said, I've been working. I've been getting up on my strength. Rightfully so. That was showcased there.
And that was awesome, man. There's nothing that, oh, look at it. Yeah, you see me. I like it. I like it, man. How about Rambo today? Getting his number called. A wide receiver room that has really been up and down. I mean, this is a talented group. Man, they haven't played like it very consistently. De'Ara King, of course, has a great relationship with Mike Harley, but Rambo is developing right before our very eyes into a go-to playmaker for this Hurricane offense.
Remember what he was a few years ago with Oklahoma. Years ago, this guy who had about 5 touchdowns, over 700 yards receiving. You thought he was going to be the next great one. Then Mims burst on the scene at Oklahoma. Right. And, you know, but listen, this new age of college football, you get these second chances, these opportunities, try to find the right fit. And Rhett Lashley said, we want to get better. We want to improve on the outside. And Charleston Rambo provides that. He is having just an A-plus kind of day, and he's got his Canes right back in this game. Big one going on between Cincinnati and Indiana. Let's hear from Kevin. So a good duel there. Ritter, Penix, and then special teams playing a big role as Tucker brings it back 99 yards. And we got a good one right here on ABC. What a game we'll have tonight on ABC. The whiteout and Happy Valley between Auburn and Penn State. But it's getting loud all of a sudden at Hard Rock with Michigan State back on offense. Walker had nothing in the middle and then comes out and bounces to the left and is able to get 5 yards. Had some great individual performances. We just highlighted Rambo, but then Kenneth Walker on the other side. Kenneth Walker's at 144 yards.
This dude's been unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable. And we've seen some good ones this year. Kyron Williams at Notre Dame. We saw some good ones last week at Arkansas and Texas. I tell you what, this guy right here, Kenneth Walker, you need to learn his name. This guy's the real deal for the Spartans.
2nd and 5. Feed the beast and push the pile. It'll be 3rd and about 3 from there.
Big down here for Michigan State. Momentum's now shifted to the Hurricanes. I think you got to go with what they've done so well, and that's one of those little bootlegs out the back door. I'd fake Walker around to the left. I'd slip Hayward out into the flat. It looks like they're going to go with a little wildcat.
Hayward and Walker in the backfield for Michigan State on 3rd and 3. Walker with Hayward blocking in front, and he will have a good surge ahead for the first down. Connor Hayward's 230 pounds out in front of Walker at 210, who's got that burst. Jay Johnson, the offensive coordinator, who's really utilizing Hayward in dynamic ways this year. The transition to tight end, you see him in the backfield. Kid played every position in high school. He used to do it all. And here's the star of this offense this year. Fresh set of downs for Sparty. Play action, Thorne. Running out of options, so he tucks and runs for 2 yards. Taken down by Flagg. Corey Flagg with the tackle.
Well, good job by the quarterback there. A lot of young guys in this spot, man. You get a shot called downfield, you get all excited. You start thinking, I'm going to throw a touchdown pass and put this crowd on their butts. And sure enough, he doesn't take the bait. Miami does a good job covering it. He makes a guy miss, doesn't make a bad play worse. Sometimes the defense wins. Get what you can. Set up 2nd down. It's a good job by the young quarterback.
Pointing at the interior of that offensive line.
Ball start. Offense, number 59. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Makes for a 2nd and 13. 16 combined penalties in this game.
Timeout. Michigan State. He's at first of the half.
Michigan State is going to use a timeout, and that's the first that they have exhausted here in this 2nd half. Peyton Thorne and this offense facing a 2nd and 13 when they return to action. Of course, Sunday NFL Countdown will be coming your way 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. The All Access with Jameis Winston. He takes you inside his offseason transformation. And Randy Moss ranking the week's best catches in You Got Moss. That's how to get you started on a Sunday of NFL action. Thorne, the slant was denied. Batted right down, back in his face, as Chance Williams was right there in the mug of Peyton Thorne.
It's a good job by Thorne, seeing that presence on the RPO, trying to get it out around the defender. Right there. Excellent work by Williams, getting his hands up, making it hard on the quarterback.
This isn't one of those sleepy noon settings here. They were tailgating early. They were ready to roar to see their Canes deliver on all the promise this year. And right now, that crowd is roaring, looking for a big stop on 3rd and 13. Shallow cross is incomplete. Reed was the intended target, but Gervin Hall was there defensively. And Michigan State is going to be punting away to Miami, who is sensing just a bit of momentum. Tyreek Stevenson back. Behringer's 5th punt of the day. He's had 2 inside the 20. He's looking for 3. And Stevenson with pretty nifty return that gets him out to the 25. Far side of the field, there is a flag down at the 33-yard line. It's interesting to see what we've seen out of De'Aaron King today, isn't it? It's been up, down, and all around, and right now he's over 300 yards, couple of touchdown strikes, and he's got his team right back in it. Left the game to get treatment on that shoulder.
During the kick, holding, return team number 0. The foul being forced from the end of the kick. First down, Miami.
Game Track is brought to you by Mission Tiger. It gives us a chance to have a closer look at De'Aaron King.
And he's been excellent, really weathering the storm. He's going against a good defense. I mean, there's no denying that Michigan State does a really solid job taking away what you do well. But he's just hung in there. And he hasn't had a ton of help. The protection hasn't been great. The receivers haven't been great. But he's continued to drive the football. How about that throw in a tight window? And here, scrambling, keeping the play alive as the pocket collapsed around him. And then the patience here on the throw back to Rambo in the back of the end zone. And this one, I mean, just threading the needle to Rambo on the in route. Man, he has been excellent today. And it hasn't been all perfect. He's had some ups and downs. He's had some things he'd love to have back. But it's not about where you start, it's where you finish. And he is finishing really well so far.
And around, this is Harley. Harley gets just about 1.5 yards. Cody Brown came into the game as the running back there in place of Cam Harris. Cody Brown's the freshman from Georgia. They're a little thinned out at running back. Donald Chaney, who they expected to have a sensational year, he's lost for the season with a torn ACL. Jalen Knighton is not available for another week. So Brown is the running back. See him, number 24 there. At the end of 3. Miami's got the ball, trailing by 3. Hoping a rally here against this pesky, solid Michigan State team. It's college football presented by Arby's from here in South Florida. And we will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Hard Rock under the scorching heat of a September afternoon in South Florida. Michigan State has been hot to start the year, but right now it's Miami sensing just a bit of momentum as we start the 4th quarter. They trail by 3 at home to the Spartans team. Smith with the reception from De'Aaron King. First play of the 4th quarter. Flag comes in. You saw Rhett Lashley right there on the sideline saying, "Can we please have the flag there?" And we will look to see what they come up with here.
Let's take a peek.
Crown of the helmet.
Ooh.
Charles Brantley, freshman, lowering his head.
Yeah, I mean, does he initiate contact with the crown of the helmet? It's really close. I would imagine that's what the officials are looking at. That, of course, if you initiate contact with the crown of the helmet, that is targeting.
Personal foul. Targeting. Defense. Number 15. That play is under further review.
We'll take a break while they review this. Play is officially under review as targeting is the call. Targeting confirmed. Charles Brantley's DQ'd. John?
Yeah, quick aim there, and he lowers the head and leads with the head. With the crown of the helmet, targeting correctly called and upheld.
Yeah, you're trying to protect as much the ball carrier there as the guy initiating the tackle. If you go in, you don't see what you hit. That's very dangerous on the tackler.
King on first down. Live ball out there, bouncing around, and the Spartans have it. Great awareness by Panashuk. It was Beasley crashing home on King.
A fumble recovered by the defense. 1st and 10, Michigan State.
And we'll look at it. Is the ball traveling forward? Oh, it is. But is it going forward is the other question. So obviously, if the ball's still in the hand as he initiates the
Replay has
throw,
confirmed the call on the field. Fumble. First down.
it
Michigan
looks
State.
as though the ball is going forward, but it's still traveling backwards, so it's essentially a lateral. And how about Beasley right here as he beats Nelson around the edge? And Sparty's defense making a huge play right when they started to feel as though they were losing some serious momentum. They step up and shut the door.
Just an awesome play by Beasley. Being at Michigan State as a walk-on. Worked his butt off. High motor kind of guy, and he delivered there. And now they go underneath, trying to get it to Speedy Naylor, and that goes nowhere. It was read well by Bubba Bolden. But what a turn here early in the fourth quarter. Sack, fumble, Beasley. Recovery, Jacob Panashuk. And now Michigan State is sitting there on the Miami 16-yard line. Second and 13. Thorne sets up the screen. Walker trying to use the blockers, and he does so to the 10-yard line. It'll be third down from the 10.
Another good play there by Walker. Pretty well covered there on the screen, and he somehow able to find his way up to a nice positive gain. He is so quick, so athletic, and a huge third down here for Miami's defense.
Third and 7. Got Fitzpatrick, the big target to the top of your screen. He goes 6'4". His favorite target, Reed, is down there, number 1, bottom of your screen. Third and 7. Caught for the touchdown, Jaden Reed. The turnover is cashed into a TD. Big swing moment for Sparty.
How about this quarterback? Look at the timing. 3-step hitch. Know exactly where you're going with the football. And then you body up that wide receiver. You put it right in the middle of his body because that safety's coming over the top. He's going to hit the wide receiver if you lead him too much. Throw it right in the window. Hold him up. Just a beautiful throw and an excellent conversion from Michigan State.
Thorne and Reed. We told you they've been together since 6th grade playing youth football. Then they went and said, let's play high school football together. Now they're doing it in college football. Longtime friends. We'll take you back to the day when it was smaller crowds under the Friday night lights. This was Thorne to Reed back then. And folks, it hasn't changed. These guys have Sparty feeling awful confident early this season. A 10-point lead on the road. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Anything can happen as long as you have the drive. Goodyear, more driven. Well, you know who's got the drive? Jaden Reed. He's had the drive all season long for Michigan State, their star receiver. And a big touchdown catch moments ago. Just over 13 minutes to play, and Michigan State is looking for an upset on the road against number 24, Miami. Katie.
Well, guys, when they were in high school in Naperville, Thorne and Reed both planned to play at Western Michigan together. Well, Jaden Reed's a year older, so he played one season for the Broncos, nabbing All-American honors. During that time, though, Thorne actually decommitted and decided to go to Michigan State instead. Well, shortly after Reed's freshman season, he called Thorne and said he wanted to transfer. Thorne answered, well, I know just the place. Come on. The two are not just lifelong teammates, they're lifelong friends. It's pretty special. They've gotten to experience so much of their life together through sports.
That is awesome, man. I just love it. I love it. And to see the chemistry, I mean, it's so obvious when you watch them. They have a great relationship. It's been so fun to see that chemistry.
Harris. It's a good run by Harris as he goes for about 12 yards there. First down, Miami.
I just don't know if I can appropriately sum up how big the last 10 minutes have been for the Spartans. It felt like it was slipping away a little bit. Miami had him on the move. You get a guy called for targeting. Next thing you know, sack, fumble, third down, a couple plays later, touchdown. Just huge.
King, a lot of time. Nothing there. And then finally was taken down as Petrowski comes up with the sack. He made his first start last week, played very well. Everybody around the program just loves his effort. There's the guy that turned things around, huh? Drew Beasley. That sack fumble. He's got 2 forced fumbles today.
He's been all over the place. I know they're happy to have him back at the end of the line of scrimmage defensively.
2nd and 12. A man rush against King. Goes underneath to his tight end, Will Mallory, who makes a man miss and had to hold on to that football once he was tackled by Crouch, but it's a first down for the Canes.
We haven't really seen any throws yet from King way down the field. At some point, they're going to have to go, and I know that Michigan State's playing soft. They're trying to keep everything in front. It's a 2-score game, all those things, but at some point, you got to at least stretch the defense vertically with one of your wide receivers on the perimeter.
Harris again straight ahead, a gain of 3. Under 12 minutes to play, trailing by 10. It's such an important game. All the expectations for Miami this year. Michigan State keep throwing this label on them. Ahead of schedule, ahead of schedule. Maybe they're right on the schedule they consider, right? Win now. You can transform rosters in this sport because of the immediate eligibility in the transfer portal. 2nd and 7. King. Of course, the quick feet and the quick burst. Flag is down back at the 48-yard line in the offensive backfield. Most likely holding, and they'll walk this back.
Well, they're going to get the center, Corey Gaynor.
Holding. Offense. Number 65. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
I mean, sometimes it's hard on the offensive line when your quarterback's stepping up in the pocket. You have your defensive lineman under control, and then the quarterback moves, the defensive lineman moves with him, and you just don't let go in time. That's tough on Gaynor, wiping out what was a really nice play from King.
Look at these penalties today, Greg.
Just unbelievable. And it's been a huge story in Miami for the last several years. It's uncharacteristic to see so many against Michigan State.
Second and 17, drives it to Brinson, and Brinson's going to make a 3rd and very manageable at the 43-yard line.
I like this young receiver, Brinson.
They love him.
Speed. He's got a chance, man.
He's out of Northwestern High. With so many great players come out of there.
4-down territory, obviously, if you're Miami.
3rd and 2 for now. Harris, and Harris is going to stretch out for that line to gain. Halliday with the tackle. Coming up on 10 minutes to play. Game turned around. Listen, Michigan State did a great job of jumping out to the lead. It's 17-7. Thorne has managed things well with 3 touchdowns. Walker has been dynamic with over 150 yards rushing, but then it was the defense. And Miami had the momentum, and then Beasley and Panashuk. Sack, fumble, and the fumble recovery. And now a 4th and 1 according to the mark here for those 2 big guys on the defensive line for Michigan State. So 4th down, 4th and 1. King dives ahead, easily gets the first down, just launches his body ahead for 3.5 yards, but he does so making contact with that right shoulder that he left to go to the locker room for treatment on.
He is tough as nails. And this is, I mean, how about putting it all on the line right here? 3rd and 1, you have a miscommunication, whatever it takes. Just selling out for his team, man. Tell me every other guy wearing orange right now doesn't respond to that. They see our quarterback. He's got a hurt arm. Guys out here grinding. We got to make a play for him. That's so big. D'Eriq King is just such a star.
Harris testing the left side, and he is wrapped up by Henderson. Xavier Henderson with a very good tackle on Harris.
Tell you what, man, that's one thing I did not expect coming into the day is just how pressed I'd be with these safeties for Michigan State. Henderson, of course, had that acrobatic interception last week that was absolutely ridiculous. But, man, they have been really good tackling in the open field. Gross has done a great job as well, covering a lot of space. Those are two difference makers in the back end for the Spartans.
Henderson's a big talker of the defense, Hazelton says. That's into the ground in front of Mike Harley. 3rd and 10 is coming up.
You have to wonder right there. De'Aaron King on that 4th and 1, dove forward, got up slow, arm hurting, right arm, throwing arm. That one didn't have any juice on it. It's probably the ball just didn't have any velocity coming off that right hand of his.
Earlier in this half, he was driven into the ground and then went to the locker room to get treatment, and then courageously has come back in to fight.
You have to wonder if it had an impact on the accuracy of that throw.
3rd and 10. King across the grain between 3 defenders looking for Rambo. It's incomplete. It's 4th down.
Just the energy on the sideline for Miami, and even when they're walking out, like, they got to pick up the pace, man. I mean, there's just the urgency needs to be there. The scramble drill, the guys are just kind of moping around. I do not like at all what I'm seeing from the Hurricanes right now, not just offensively, but from their special teams unit as well.
And they're coming on with Borregales for a 55-yard attempt from the freshman. 55-yard attempt to try to cut it to a touchdown margin. Like it was nothing. Borregales cuts it to 7. 8:11 to play when we return to South Florida.
College football on ABC is presented by Arby's. We have the meats. And in part by the new Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Could it be the best Coke ever?
Life in the middle of campus at the University of Miami. A spectacular campus just south of us in Coral Gables. 55-yard field goal from Andy Borregales moments ago. And we're back to just a touchdown game between Michigan State and the Canes. Let's go to the studio. Kevin. Did Look forward to it. Of course, the big one tonight, Auburn and Penn State. Thorne gets it quickly to Reed. Reed utilizes the block for 9 yards. Let me show you what's happening just north and to the west of where we are. This is what happens in South Florida. That is about a 3-block wall, like a rectangular wall of rain. There's a stadium on the right. And it's as if it's raining in someone's backyard and the next house over, it's dry.
It's amazing. Absolutely
just
amazing.
A wall of rain. 2nd and 1. Met in the backfield was Walker. That was Jared Harrison Hunt who gets the tackle for loss, and it'll set up a big 3rd down with under 7.5 minutes to play.
How about the big fella right here? And he's coming on, man. This is going to be a guy you need to know moving forward. Big number 81, Harrison Hunt, is going to be a handful here for the next couple of years for the Canes.
Former basketball player up in New York at Christ the King. They're a basketball powerhouse. Now he's a big defensive tackle. What will they come up with on 3rd and 6? Thorne to pass. 3rd and 6, gonna tuck, run, get it with ease. Look at Peyton Thorne past midfield. Big play for Michigan State.
Now you're going to see these rushers get past the quarterback. Now they're past the quarterback, and next thing you know, the Red Sea parts for Peyton Thorne, and he hits it. This young man, very athletic, does a great job with the ball in his hands, and having another huge conversion with his legs there. Excellent decision from the quarterback.
22 yards on a critical 3rd and 6. He's got a great football IQ from a football family. Kenneth Walker. You think about his upbringing. His grandfather, John, was D3 head coach. His father was a good player. His father played ball and then went on to coach and win a Division III national championship in 2019. And now here's Peyton, who was under-recruited a bit. Mark D'Antonio, former head coach, said reminded him of Kirk Cousins, who was also under-recruited. They had a decommitment late in the recruiting class, and Peyton was made a late offer, and here he is. Productive starting quarterback. Speedy Naylor goes for 7 yards to the outside.
What I've been most impressed with is his poise, man. I mean, the guy doesn't get rattled. You never see him flinch. Been accurate with the football these first couple weeks. I mean, he's hit some beautiful throws downfield, too, to complement that run game. Because you know they're going to be able to pound the football with that offensive line and running back. But, man, if you can hit the play action up and marry it up with it, it's going to be a difficult offense to defend this year.
By the way, on his mom's side, his grandfather, Dave Martin, played football at Wisconsin. So he's got football everywhere you look in the bloodline. 3rd down and 3.
Almost a gotta have it for Miami's defense.
Pitch to Walker. Run fit happens, and look at Walker still surging ahead. I mean, they tied him up at the line of scrimmage, and he just surges ahead for 2 more yards. So it's 4th and 1 right at the 40.
Man, decision coming here. As an offensive guy and a veteran group along the front and a great running back, I'll keep my offense on the field.
Walker's averaging 6.1 per. He's gone for 153 yards today. 4th and 1. Quarterback sneak, and let's see where they spot it. You can see Thorne reaching out and over. And this mark should give it to him. And put it right on that yellow line, the unofficial yellow line that we provide for you. And we did see Thorne stretch out that ball.
I think he got it. And that was a good job by Thorne, too, just following his center en route to potentially converting. You see the center work a little to the right. Thorne just follows him. I think he got enough. Tough to see where the ball is at. There he is as he reaches forward.
Now, where's forward progress here?
Right. Just so difficult.
Pull the chain. 1st down, Michigan State.
Very close.
Yeah, by a pimple of leather.
They would look at it, but more often than not, you're not going to be able to overturn the spot on the field, especially when it's in a wad of mess there in the middle of the field. So a great job there by the quarterback and his center. Got to give some love to Matt Allen, another in a long line of great Spartans with the last name Allen.
Of course, Jack, his older brother, right? 2-time All-American. Brian, his other brother, who was on the team. Thorne, wide open, and put a nail in it, says Speedy Naylor. .39-yard touchdown strike, Thorne to Naylor. 4 touchdown passes for Peyton Thorne. Miami cut into it. Miami had this home crowd roaring, looking for a stop. And Peyton Thorne stepped up on that drive, converted the 3rd and 6 with his legs, 22 yards. Converted the 4th and 1. And instead of running down the clock, instead of grinding towards a win, Greg, this is how you get upsets on the road. You go for the jugular.
Every single time. Jalen Naylor has taken a bit of a back seat to Jaden Reed, but not on this play. A little stop and go. Little yada over the top. Put up the hand for the mailman and put a bow on it. Sparty's rolling here in South Florida.
The view from above a rainbow. And at the end of Peyton Thorne's rainbow moments ago was Speedy Naylor. A 39-yard touchdown catch to make it 31-17 for one of the real surprise teams of the college football season. Spartans are up by 2 touchdowns. Kevin. Thank you very much. Take this college football Saturday deep into the night. And some good ones in the late window, right?
Couple. My goodness, we got some action today. You better lace them up and throw some ankle braces on, Joe, because it's going to get wild today in college football.
So just over 4 minutes to play. King. That is picked off every which way. It's Spartans, and Ronald Williams jumps it. Interception, Michigan State. Fourth Miami turnover today.
They've thrown hitch after hitch after hitch. Not this time. As Ronald Williams, he gave up a bunch of those hitches, but he makes him pay on the last one, undercutting it and making a great interception to put this thing on ice.
Another one of those transfers. He started his career at Alabama. All the new players on this roster, the reshaping of a team with a really good coaching staff who also knows how to develop and how to win. I'm taking a little pause to try to fix the chains. As far as I'm concerned, they can throw them out. We can just go electronic in the future of football. Let's look at today's Aflac trivia question. We're here at Hard Rock, of course, and it's 17 miles from campus. One of 4 FBS schools play their home games 15 or more miles from campus. What are the other 3? So Miami plays over 15 miles away. You got 3 other schools in major college football where their home stadium is over 15 miles from campus.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
The first one that comes to mind is UCLA. Rose Bowl?
Rose Bowl, sure, from Westwood out to Pasadena. That would make sense.
That's one.
Kenneth Walker. Well, he pulls. It's Thorne keeping it. All right, so you say UCLA is one of them. I think UConn, Stores to East Hartford would be one of them. Let's see the answer here. So you got Miami playing more than 15. UTSA.
Wow.
UTSA is the other one. The Alamo Dome. Over 15 miles away from Texas, San Antonio.
I would not have gotten that one.
We go from rainbows to rain. An appropriate weather, I'm sure, for the way some Miami fans are feeling watching this fourth quarter. What an incredible turn. I mean, Miami had the look of a team that was finding its rhythm as Walker will continue to add to his total. And then Michigan State, Beasley has the sack fumble. This thing goes sack fumble to pushing him right off a cliff.
That was it. I mean, it's just amazing how quickly things can turn. And Michigan State's defense has been excellent all day. I mean, forcing turnovers, making D'Eriq King somewhat uncomfortable. when the plays have been there to be made in the secondary, they've made them, and they've been constantly applying pressure to that offensive line. And De'Aaron King has battled as hard as humanly possible. It just hasn't been in the cards. Michigan State just too physical, too much for this Hurricanes team. So impressive what Mel Tucker's done in year number 2.
Give credit to Scotty Hazelton, right? The defensive coordinator comes in, installs that 4-2-5. You know, last year they had so many difficulties. He said there were things we were putting forth in spring this year that we should have been learning last spring, but with, you know, all the COVID postponements, and there he is. He's got that look too. I like that gray salt and pepper beard.
I wish the beard was
Neidhart.
I wish the beard was like 4 or 5 inches longer, like middle of the chest. I think
He's
that's
such
where
a
it was
likable
at
guy.
one point. He is a great guy. I've really enjoyed getting to know him over the last couple years.
Walker, as he gets free, and is inside the 10. He's over 160 yards today. Kevin. Thank you very much. Kenneth Walker, 172. 172 yards. Guy opens up against Northwestern. He puts up tremendous numbers, goes for 264. Obviously the blowout of an overmatched opponent last week, and then comes down here to Miami, and he goes for 172. Here's Reed looking for a block in front, getting to the edge, getting to the goal line, and now the Spartans are just pouring it on.
Just a great job around the edge by Hayward, leading the charge, securing the outside shoulder. And Reed scores an easy touchdown. I mean, Miami completely selling out against the run between the tackles. Nobody home on the outside.
Look at his scoreboard right now, huh?
Impressive.
38-17. This Michigan State team that hardly anybody was talking about. We think we know so much all summer long, don't we? We read those preview magazines. Right. We go to media days. We think we know so much.
Well, it just goes to show you how much things can change in a year in the new world of college football. Because with how you can piece together a roster by going and finding guys in the portal that can improve certain spots that you were deficient, you can improve in a hurry. And that's exactly what's gone on with Michigan State. You have a bunch of really talented guys. They've gotten far more athletic in the back end of their defense. They're still very disruptive along the front. And then you have some veteran guys that have gone through some of the worst years. And they signed up and they were watching Michigan State football. Some of these guys were watching them go to the playoffs. And that has not been the case, obviously, in the last few. So you have guys that have a high expectation of where Michigan State should be. Those guys along the offensive line, those veterans on the defensive line, like Jacob Slade and Jacob Panashuk. And they're setting the tone for this talented group of transfers, and man, the outcome's been beautiful.
Reminder, Saturday Night Football presented by Capital One comes your way tonight right here on ABC at 7:30 Eastern. Number 22 Auburn, number 10 Penn State. Coach Herson, year one for Auburn, perhaps another team people weren't talking about quite enough.
And people are going to say, well, who have they played, right? Just like they've said about Michigan State. And I think this is what determines it tonight. Which quarterback plays the smartest? You have two teams that want to be able to run the football, two defenses that pride themselves on taking away the run. Bo Nix has struggled on the road in the past. Sean Clifford's been up and down. Which quarterback's going to make the play when their team needs it tonight? And I think that's what could potentially determine the outcome of the game.
Heck of a day for the Michigan State offense. Heck of a fourth quarter. Peyton Thorne, he had some critical runs. And then what he's been able to do with his arm, 4 touchdown passes on 18 completions. King is courageous, as always, as he gets it to Harris. Left the game, got some treatment on a shoulder, and then was out there diving ahead, you know, making contact with that shoulder that he hurt. But that's who he is, the 8-month turnaround from surgery on an ACL to end up playing Alabama in week 1. Alabama was not unexpected. Listen, you knew they were going to fight. They were going to have some moments, but Alabama did to Miami what Alabama pretty much does to everybody.
Right. Nothing to be ashamed of. We've seen that before.
Struggling with App State and having to fight and be resilient to get a late win against App State. And then at home, a 21-point deficit to an unranked Michigan State team.
It's pretty difficult to sum up. It really is. What I would do if I were Miami, I'd go back to the drawing board and say, man, we have got to stop shooting ourselves in the foot. Penalties, drive-killing penalties, turnovers, inability to finish in the end zone offensively, not tackling in the open field defensively. Man, they got to go back to the drawing board because this got sideways in a hurry.
Harris on 4th down. Final minute and a half here in Miami.
The beauty is, as bad as Miami feels right now at 1-2, they can still win the ACC. As crazy as that sounds, and I'm not saying they don't need to get a lot of things addressed, but they can still have a great year. 2 non-conference losses is not going to end or derail your season. All your goals are still in front of you, but you're not going to come close to achieving those goals if you don't get things fixed offensively by finishing in the red zone and defensively with their inability to tackle in the open field.
They're going to get a breather with Central Connecticut next week. Then it's a Thursday nighter against a pretty tough-looking Virginia team. They are at North Carolina. And that'll be the stretch that starts to define things in conference play for Miami. But it needs to pass the eye test a lot better than what folks have seen through 3 weeks. Will Mallory with the catch there. By the way, the grandson of the former Indiana head coach, the late Bill Mallory. Meanwhile, on the other side, you look at this Michigan State team and you say, who knows? Are they the X factor in a now wildly intriguing Big Ten?
Big Ten East specifically. I mean, right now with how Ohio State's playing against the run, you think they would fare real well against Michigan State and Kenneth Walker and this veteran group of offensive linemen? I would think not. So I think that Big Ten East with Ohio State's inefficiencies on the defensive side is wide open. More open than it's been in quite some time. So who knows? We've seen it before. Michigan State rallies up, puts together a special season.
He's padded there. I can't get enough of the Kenneth Walker story, right? This is a guy who's down there, was lightly recruited to Wake Forest. Wake Forest was his only Power 5 offer, so he took it. Never started a game there, was productive, never started a game there. And he wanted to be the feature back in a more pro-style offense. We talked about that style down there, that hurry up with the delay, slow mesh down there at Wake Forest. He comes to Michigan State, and he's dynamic now.
Right.
I mean, he's putting up stats that are incredible. Smith with the catch. 27 carries, 172. He's awesome now.
I'm telling you, we've seen some really good backs. We saw Kyron Williams in Notre Dame. We've seen Bijan Robinson at Texas. We saw some really good backs from Arkansas last week. This dude is every bit as good as all 3 of those guys.
Well, when the new rankings come out, you're going to see a number next to Michigan State.
Yeah, and it better be a high number. I don't want to see a 23 next to the Spartans. I want to see like a 15 at worst. This team can beat you in a lot of different ways, and it's been very impressive to watch them through 3 weeks.
And Miami is going to drop out. Miami 1-2 after 3 weeks of play. Michigan State 3-0, and impressively so. Fourth quarter was tremendous. The defense able to spark the offense, and then the play calling as well from Jay Johnson to say, what do you say we put this thing away? What do you say we go to the end zone? And that's what they did when Thorne went to Naylor in what had been cut to a 7-point margin. The 39-yard touchdown pass to Speedy Naylor. And then they broke things wide open as Reed had the 8-yard touchdown run to make it 38-17. An upset win on the road. Good, solid, defining win for this ascendant Michigan State team, 38-17. Folks, they're 3-0. After the break, we're going to get you to Georgia Tech and Clemson. From our entire crew, I'm Joe Tessitore saying thanks for watching. So long from Miami.